isn't it interesting that two cities are battling on two different fronts? The Lakers and Detroit in the NBA Championship Series, and here tonight it's the LA Cobras and the Detroit Drive in a rematch in arena football. Now, last week, Detroit jumped out on top as Rich Ingold, their quarterback, hit Walter Holman to open the scoring and get the first touchdown. Ingold comes right back to his favorite receiver, George LaFrance. And though he makes the catch, he pays a bit into the boards. And then it's the leading receiver in arena football, Dwayne Dixon, coming right into your living room. Dixon, a touchdown pass. But it wasn't all Detroit. Here, Nate Miller picks one off and goes 48 yards to get his LA Cobras back in the game. And then rookie quarterback out of UCLA, Matt Stevens, hits Wade Lockett for this touchdown, but it wasn't enough. Detroit won at 39-26. The Cobras will look for revenge. Welcome to the Arena Football Network Game of the Week. Tonight, the Detroit Drive traveled to the Los Angeles Sports Arena to meet the Los Angeles Cobras. This program is being brought to you by Atra Plus, Gillette made it smoother, and by English Leather, a man's cologne and aftershave because some guys have it all, and by Little King's Cream Ale, winner of the greatest American beer festival 2 years in a row. Welcome, everyone, to the LA Sports Arena. I'm Mike Hafner with a play-by-play, and alongside me, a guy who played in the Memorial Coliseum in the '64 Rose Bowl. I got in there in '62. Does that make me older? Jim Grabowski.
I won't call you old, Mike.
Okay. Jimmy, arena football, our third week on the Ms. Lou Sports TV network. Your impression so far?
Well, Mike, I don't know about you, but I continue to have a lot of fun. And I know that the audience, the fans that come out to the game, continue to have a lot of fun. It's a great game for the spectator.
I know you and I played one way in the NFL. These two-way players are very unique.
No doubt about it. They have to be great athletes to play on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Now, you think of the guy that you just beat on the pass pattern, all of a sudden, you got to defend against him. He may beat you.
And joining us on the broadcast tonight is the editor of Pro Football Weekly, and of course, that's our Bible, Jimmy, is Hub Arkush, and he's down on the field, and I've got a question, both Jimmy and I do. Hub, as a writer, how do you view this game of arena football?
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, the first thing that you have to notice, and we're experiencing it right now, is the excitement of the ball game. I mean, you get indoors, and the fans can make a lot of noise. It puts the teams more in the action. We've got a probably average-sized crowd here, and yet it's almost impossible to hear yourself on the field. I've tried to make a point of seeing at least one game each of the first 7 weeks of the season, and what you discover is that these are very good football players out here. They're guys that are maybe just a notch below the NFL. Some of them will be playing in the NFL. So bottom line is it's not that different from the National Football League. You've got good ball players. Yeah, there's a few minor rule changes, but the excitement is the one thing that you just can't ignore about arena football.
All right, Herb. And Hub will be down on the field during the game. Now, we're going to come back and tell you about this rematch, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hey, did you hear the Little Kings won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival?
Yeah. Some distinguished panel of experts finally discovered what some of us have known all along.
It's not some panel of experts that makes the Little King so good. It's that great smooth taste that comes from Little King's specialized brewing process and finest quality ingredients.
Better stock up before the tourists arrive.
Little Kings, as always, first in its class.
Maybe you haven't heard. People who fly United and drive Hertz don't have to lug luggage anymore. Now you can check in your bags when you check in your car. Get United boarding passes and seat assignments right at the Hertz counter. You go straight to the gate while your bags go straight to the plane. If you fly United.
Airlines, please.
United.
United Airlines. Rededicated to giving you the service you deserve.
There must be something I haven't heard.
Come fly the friendly skies.
Maximum power, more distance, greater accuracy. Your longest ball, your lowest score with the amazing Golf Gym Power Swing Workout. From tee to green. Better golf with the science of golf-specific conditioning. PGA Pro and sports medicine design guarantees it.
Golf-specific conditioning. It works for the pros. Now it can work for you.
17 easy-to-use golf exercises for home, office, travel, or pre-game warm-up. Only Golf Gym strengthens all golf muscles. Improves grip, turn, follow-through, flexibility, and muscle memory. Adjusts to every swing. Reduces chances of injury.
In 30 years covering golf, Golf Gym is the most effective device I've ever seen for building power and control.
Golf Gym, the perfect Father's Day gift for dad or any golfer serious about their game. Available at these fine retailers or order direct by calling 1-800-441-4848. Just send $29.95 plus $4 shipping. Your longest ball, your lowest score with Golf Gym.
Mike Hafner and Jim Grabowski back at the L.A. Sports Arena. And Jimmy, before the game, we tried to talk to both coaches. They looked a little uptight in this rematch.
Well, you know, sometimes you become too familiar with a team. They played last week. They know what happened last week. They say, I don't want to talk to anybody. I may have some new things going on this week.
Well, of course, last week it was 39-26 in favor of Detroit, and that put Detroit into third place. Let's take a look at the standings in arena football. Of course, the Chicago Bruisers 7-0 and undefeated. Pittsburgh Gladiators in second place, 5-2. And, of course, after last week's win, Detroit jumps ahead of the L.A. Cobras. Jimmy, what about this rematch?
Well, as I said, sometimes you become too familiar with each other. But I think the key for the Cobras is they kind of come out playing a little better. You know, last week they turned the ball over in the beginning of the game. The other thing is they've had more rest. They had only a 4-day rest between the game previous to Detroit and the last week's Detroit game. The other key factor is they practice 3 days indoors. They very seldom get to practice in this arena. They think they're ready for the game.
Now let's take a look at this very unique field in arena football. First of all, Jimmy, there's those nets. Explain to the fans.
Even from our angle right here, they look very narrow. The crossbar is 15 feet high, and they're only 9 feet apart. A kicker's viewpoint, it looks about a yard apart.
And those nets, of course, are in play if they rebound on a pass or a kick.
They're 31 feet wide on each side, 32 feet high. A lot of area for the ball to bounce off. They're in play on a kick, in play on a pass.
Now, those dasher boards along the field, they're only 1 yard from a bounce. They come into play.
Mike, as a former receiver, you know your coaches always told you, concentrate on the football, look the ball in your hand. You only had to worry about a defender. Here they have to worry about the boards and a defender.
And, of course, the field 50 yards long, about half the size of the regular football field in width. Let's take this time, and we'll come back with the kickoff after these words from your local station.
I'm standing in the Mojave Desert to compare homemade brand butter pecan with a leading national premium brand to see which ice cream has more nuts. Now, I shall stand here while this ice cream melts. Here we are again, and clearly homemade brand contains more and larger crunchy pecans. Proof positive, eh? Certainly was worth all the fuss, don't you think?
Homemade brand ice cream. With so much goodness, it has to be homemade.
You bought a mobile home?
Today's manufactured home.
You bought a house!
Factory-built quality at a price that makes sense. In a manufactured home, there's plenty of room for today's family. Spacious bedrooms, modern kitchens, and quiet neighborhoods. If you'd like a free information kit about affordable manufactured homes, call us at 1-800-422-6478. That's 1-800-422-6478.
Honey, you're so sweet to hang this picture.
Nothing to it.
A little to the left.
All I gotta do is find the stud.
Maybe over there.
It's gotta be here somewhere.
Stud sensor takes the guesswork out of locating studs. Just turn it on, line up the lights, and mark the spot. Stud sensor's microcircuits find the hidden studs every time.
Maybe we should call someone who could...
Just one more. Got it.
This Father's Day, Stud Sensor is available at participating home centers, lumber yards, and hardware stores.
On the night of December 26, 1983, Margie Anderson, a hard-working single parent, went to this bar with a boyfriend. They argued, and he invited his biker friends to teach her a lesson. Margie struggled for her life as 4 men continued to brutalize her, but tragically, she died the victim of a senseless crime. 3 of her attackers are behind bars, but the 4th, believed by police to be this man, is still free. Help bring him to justice. Watch America's Most Wanted after Jump Street, Sunday on Fox.
We're back at the LA Sports Arena. Jim Grabowski and Mike Hafner getting ready for the kickoff. And there's the deep man for the Detroit Drive, George LaFrance, one of the top return men in arena football. And, of course, you'll get a look at Marty Zendejas, number 2, who will kick it away, and we're underway in Los Angeles. Comes down and is fielded, and we get a whistle right off the bat.
Well, Mike, what happened is it hit the scoreboard, and you know the rule in arena football. If it hits an obstruction in the game, the ball goes in play where it hits that obstruction.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight for Detroit. Rich Ingold, the all-pro quarterback from last year. Alvin Reddick from Rice, who was just activated, will be at fullback. Steve Griffin, one of the wide receivers out of Purdue. George LaFrance, who was back to return the kick out of Baker, Kansas. And, of course, the leading receiver in the league, Dwayne Dixon. First down and 10, 23-yard line, and the first pass is complete. And out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, it's Steve Griffin. And let's take a look again at John Rolk, the center out of Iowa, the starting center for Detroit. Jeff Wiska will be one of the offensive linemen out of Michigan State, and Kelly Quinn at the tight end spot, also out of Michigan State. Enough for a first down. It'll be first down and 10 for Detroit. And there's a look at the best receiver in arena football, Dwayne Dixon, 98. Ingold back to throw, looking for Dixon in the end zone on the alley-oop. And it's batted away and out of bounds by Richard Rogers. Rogers, an outstanding job. And by the way, Rogers is one of those guys that played in the play in the Cal Stanford game.
Well, you'll see Rogers right now. Great coverage on Dixon. We've touted Dixon from last week's game as the receiver in the arena football, and you saw Rogers hanging with him step for step.
Second down 10. Ball at the 12-yard line of the LA Cobras. Detroit on the opening drive. 13:26 to go. First quarter. Ingold under center. Will roll to his left and throw and complete at the 5-yard line. Complete there after Derek Donald made the tackle on Dwayne Dixon. And it is a gain of 6. And will bring up third down and 4.
Well, Detroit coming right out, winging the football, moving the ball down the field. That's the way they started last week in this game. They jumped to a 30-3 lead in the first half, and it looks like they want to take off where they left off last week.
Ingold, of course, last year played for the Washington franchise, now with Detroit, and he was all pro there. And he'll look on 3rd and 4, looking, in the end zone, caught, touchdown, Dwayne Dixon. Was it Dixon? You betcha, the leading receiver in the league, gets the 6-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Rich Ingold, and Detroit is on the board first, 6-0.
You'll see Ingold under some pressure now. He's scrambling out. He's looking for Dixon. Now watch, Matt McKnight, a defender, is right in front of Dixon. Leaps high, doesn't get the ball. Dixon does. It's 6 points for Detroit. Let's look at from Dixon's angle right now. Coming at you. You'll see Ingold on his eye. Now looking right in front of Dixon is Matt McKnight, but he doesn't get the ball.
Novo Bojovic will try the extra point. The kick is up and good. And with the score, Detroit 7 and the Cobras nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
Working
hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
When it comes to pitching, you can never be satisfied with your performance. You have to feel you can do even better, to be the best there is. And when it comes to sports weeklies, the best there is for my money is sporting news.
Call 1-800-533-1800 and get 55 issues of the Sporting News for 4 payments of just $7.50. Call now, 1-800-533-1800. That's 1-800-533-1800.
Mike Hafner, Jim Grabowski, and our special third man in the booth, Hub Arkush from Pro Football Weekly. And Jimmy, it's starting out just like it did last week. Detroit jumps out on top, and the Cobras, hey.
Mike, no doubt about it. The one advantage, of course, that Detroit had is that the Cobras kickoff was hit the scoreboard. Now let's take another look at this. You'll see Ingold again under some pressure, rolls to his right. When you're in trouble, who are you going to look for? You're going to look for your main man on this Detroit team is Dwayne Dixon. Now watch the leaping ability of Dixon right in front of Richard Rodgers. He gets 6 points. Great start for Detroit.
And Hub, why isn't Dixon in the NFL? He's got size, speed, quickness, great hands.
You know, Mike, the difference, I think, between these players and the NFL players is so minute. You guys know, you were there. That last cut, those last 3 or 4 guys cut. What this game is good for is Dixon may just be in camp somewhere in about 6 weeks.
I bet he hopes so. And that, you know, it's not that far away, that NFL season. Getting ready for the kickoff, 11:59 remaining first quarter. And Novo Bojovic will kick it away for the Detroit drive. And deep are Richard Rodgers, Gary Mullen, and Matt McKnight. And, of course, number 1, McMullen, is the guy that they want to return the ball.
Well, Gary Mullen had a tough start last week. You remember he dropped a couple passes, had 6 points in his hands, dropped the ball. Now, I guess we're having a little problems with the kicking tee. The officials are looking at it. Is it the right size? I mean, Bojovic is arguing with them and saying, hey, don't worry about it. I wouldn't do anything that's not legal.
Hey, don't mess with those kickers' minds. I held the NFL for 7 years, and I'll tell you one thing. I had a guy turn around and say, Mike, the guy's going to block the kick. And I said, good, I'll go block him. You hold the ball for yourself. By the way, we'll talk with Novo Bojovic about his 3 kicking tees that he uses at halftime. So stay tuned for that. Maybe he can explain what was going on down there.
Well, the referee went over to the coach, Jim Markham, and brought him one of the kicking tees. And I presume they say the one he was trying to use wasn't correct.
Well, they got it straightened out now, and with 11:59 remaining in the first quarter, and Detroit leading 7-0, Novo Bojovic will kick it away from the goal line, and Gary Mullen, number 1, will be deep to receive. And Mullen will take it 6 yards deep in the end zone, bring it out over the 5, the 10, makes a move, and will be pulled down at the 14-yard line, where the Cobras will take over first down and 10. Let's take a look at the starters on offense. Matt Stevens, the rookie out of UCLA at quarterback for the Cobras. Webke Powell out of San Jose State at the fullback spot. Matt McKnight, one of the wide receivers out of Fresno State. Gary Mullen, the leading receiver on this club out of West Virginia, number 1. And Wade Lockett, who had a big game last week with 3 touchdown receptions, the other wide receiver. Remember, the clock continuously moves until the last minute of each half, and so the clock will continue to move as we continue in this first quarter. Pass over the middle to Mullen, and he's got it inside the 25-yard line, and that's midfield down to the 19. So Mullen, who dropped the first pass, catches it this time. Let's take a look at the rest of the offense. Brian Clark at one offensive line spot out of Cal State Northridge. From West Virginia, Chuck Harris, the center. And Dexter Stowers is injured and will be replaced by Dwayne Jackson.
Well, we'll see Gary Mullen has done a crossing pattern over the middle. He's in the primary receiver. Ball right there on his number 1, looking to pick up some extra yardage. Good first down for the Cobras.
Cobras first and 10 at the 19-yard line of the drive. The out hook pattern is complete inside the 10-yard line, and again it's Gary Mullen. The tackle this time made by Steve Griffin, and it's very close again to first down yardage, and they signal yes, first and goal from the 8-yard line for the Cobras, trying to rebound after going down 7-0.
You know, Mike, Ray Wilsley, before the game last week, had mentioned to his coaching staff, he said, you know, we don't drop any passes. And what happened was the kiss of death. They dropped all kinds of them. Gary Mullen was well aware of his start last week. Was a bad one. He's ready to play. 35 touchdown passes for Matt Stevens. You saw the graphic. And this time it's a running play. His big fullback, Webke Powell, out of San Jose State, gets a couple of yards. It'll bring up second down and goal from just outside the 6-yard line. Little running play just to keep the defense honest.
So it's second down and goal from, I say the 7-yard line. The scoreboard says the 6. Anyway, it's second down and goal.
And as usual, you're right.
9:35 and counting, first quarter. Cobras trying to match the 7-point score put up on the board first by the Detroit Drive. Stevens up under center. On second and goal from the 6, he'll drop straight back to throw. He's under pressure, but there are those familiar yellow laundry on the green carpet down there before the ball was snapped. Too much time, Jimmy? Did that 30-second clock run out?
Well, the officials are conferring right now. Let's look for the offsides. Offsides on Detroit. That's going to be a 3-yard walk-off against the Drive. Putting the ball now, second down and only 4 yards to go.
So second and goal from the 4, and Hupp, this reminds me of regular football. I mean, you can fool me.
You know, it really does look the same. One thing to keep an eye on, there's an awful lot of wolfing and hot dogging and things going on every play. A factor of the scheduling here is these are back-to-back games. That doesn't happen in the NFL. These guys are looking for each other tonight.
That's right. Second down goal from the 4. Mullen in motion. Stevens drops the throw. Once Mullen in the corner, it was a timing route, and Mullen was the intended receiver. Steve Griffin had the coverage. Check that. It was Nate Miller with the coverage. 23, not 22, and it'll bring up third and goal from the 4 for the Cobras.
You saw on that play the wall really come into play there, and that's well padded, 4 inches of padded, and we see a home ec. Now we'll see hit the mat, face right into it, got his arms out to protect him, and then he's driven into it by Nate Miller. Yeah, get a little extras in there, guys.
First pressure down for the Cobras in this game, and Matt Stevens will pitch out to Powell, and he'll be stopped back at the 4-yard line. They tried to fool him with a pitch out to the fullback, Jimmy, and it didn't work.
Well, good defense by the Drive.
Nate Miller made the stop on Powell, and that will bring up a 4th down and goal.
Well, we got another flag on the play, and once again, it's offsides against Detroit. Someone obviously lining up in the neutral zone. We could not pick it up from up here, but it's got to be one of the down linemen, obviously.
That gives Matt Stevens, number 10, and his offense another chance at third down, and Tim Markham's not very happy with the way his defensive linemen are lining up.
I should mention that Big John Corker is in the game, and John was a great player in the USFL and the NFL. 6'6", 245 pounds, and he is their sack man. If he can get back into his old form, he's going to be a big factor in this ball game this evening.
So we set it again. Third down over after the 3-yard penalty. They mark it at the 2-yard line. It's third and goal from the 2 for the Cobras. Motion. Stevens rolls. Wants the crossing pattern. Throws it into the net, and it's almost intercepted. And remember, folks, it is in play off the net on a pass as well as a kick.
Well, I wonder if Matt Stevens forgot about that. He looked like he was throwing the ball away. He forgot about the net. It's in play. It could have been an interception.
Steve Griffin had the coverage that time, but I think Stevens was throwing it away, and you're right, he caught the net. So it brings up 4th down and goal from the 2. And there will be no field goal. Stevens, here's a look at the explanation on passing. A forward pass rebounding off the net is live, and if it would have been intercepted, it would have been Detroit ball. So Stevens has 4th down and goal at the 2. Mullen in motion. Stevens dropping straight back. Under pressure, scrambling, looking, throwing across, and it's batted away. Batted away by Matt McKnight. Intended for Matt McKnight, and batted away. And that will turn the ball over to the Detroit Drive, and they still lead 7-0. So a big defensive series, Jim, for Detroit. With the score, 7-0, and 6:55 remaining in the first period, let's take this break for messages from your local station.
Having fun in the summertime, yeah. With my friends in the bright sunshine. Looking good, yeah, we're looking fine, yeah. Having fun in the summertime.
Hot looks and arena swimwear from MC Sporting Goods.
MC in the summertime, yeah.
An incredible new journey from the mines of Iron Meat. Seventh son of a seventh son.
Sale price now during the Harmony House Summer Tune-Up Sale.
Mike Hafner, Hub Arkush, and Jim Grabowski. Hey, we got three in the booth for the first time in our broadcast.
To learn the rhythm of three, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. We've got to get everybody in. 6:45 and counting, first quarter. Detroit Drive have the lead and the ball at their own 2-yard line. Rich Ingold drops to throw, and it's complete out over the 10-yard line to Steve Griffin, and then he's driven into the boards by the defensive back, Derek Donald.
Mike, those guys got to be aware of that board. There's 4 inches of padding. They're not going to get hurt, but boy, you have to think about it.
It was a gain exactly of 10 yards, and it will be first down at the 12-yard line for Detroit. They lead 7-0, 6:12 and counting, first quarter. And this is a rematch from last week. It was 39-26 Detroit in last week's game, and the Cobras looking for revenge. Rich Ingold, 4 of 5, 27 yards, and a touchdown already. And Ingold is dropped to throw on first down. Wants it all. Got a man open. Incomplete. Oh, George LaFrance had his man beaten. But an extra special play at the end by Joe Kelly, and he knocks it away. Jimmy?
This is a great shot coming right at us now. Ingold looking to LaFrance all the way. Long fly pattern. Good tight spiral going to hit him right there. The defender comes in, and Joe Kelly knocks it away. Watch Dixon. Now this is the other receiver on the other side. He's really been tied up, driven into the boards again. Now is a little bear hug. They're doing a little wrestling. Back to action.
And the pitch out wide this time to the big fullback for Detroit, Walter Holman. And he'll get a couple yards up to the 15-yard line. A gain of maybe a yard and a half. We got another penalty marker down.
I'll tell you, this is great action. Hey, great camera work there. We got the intended receiver. We got the off receiver being driven into the wall.
One of the things that the players have told me about this game is they ought to, the referees, the officiating crew ought to let it go a little bit. Let them get a little rougher maybe and watch the flags so much.
The fact is that one of the things that makes arena football different and special is the configuration of the field and the boards and the proximity to it. It's going to be a rough game. The officials are watching everything. There's been discussions in the league office this week about possibly reconsidering some of the rules and getting the officials to keep those flags in their pockets a little more.
4:57 and counting. Second down 6. Detroit Drive as Ingold brings his offense out. Second down 6 at his own 16-yard line, and he has a 7-0 lead. And once more, Ingold straight back to throw, looking deep downfield. Got a receiver wide open and caught by George LaFrance. He had his man beat by 5 yards and had to dive and made a great catch. George LaFrance beat Joe Kelly, and another touchdown Detroit.
Well, they went to LaFrance early, and Kelly broke it up. They go right back to him again. Let's see it again. Ingold on the drop back. Good protection for him. He looks one way. Now he's going to LaFrance. Now, good. Watch the reaction by LaFrance to the ball. Turns back into the ball. Great catch. Whew. And Joe Kelly's hanging his head saying, boy, got me that time.
Novo Bojovic on, out of the hold of Rich Ingold. He hit the last extra point, and they aren't automatic in this league, folks. Ball is spotted down. Kick is up by Bojovic, and it hits the post and bounces away. And with 3:48 to go, it's Detroit 13 and the Cobras nothing. And now Gillette presents an arena ball rule. 2 points can be scored after a touchdown by a run, a pass, or a drop-kicked extra point. And now this.
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Atra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
You know, that was a smart move.
You mean renting that budget one-way truck?
I can't believe how much we saved.
Well, budget doesn't charge you for round trip, just one way.
And their rate was low to begin with.
You know, it's kind of fun driving that truck.
Yeah. Air conditioning, stereo.
Automatic, power steering. It's better than our car.
Really? And to top it off, we got $50 off.
Yeah, just by calling budget and mentioning arena football.
Yeah. That budget one-way truck was the best move we ever made.
Mike Hafner and Jim Grabowski along with Huff Arkush. And there's a look at Ed Seaman, this time deep. And I remember his daddy. He played with the Denver Broncos and coached with the Raiders. Eddie getting his shot. And, of course, Novo Bojovic, who I guess has a tee that works this time, Jim.
No argument about the tee this time.
3:48 to go, first period. Detroit enjoying a 13-0 lead, and the ball will be fielded by Joe Kelly at the 10, up over the 15, finds a hole, gets over the 20, pushed into the boards, and that's where the Cobras will take over first down and 10. Steve Griffin made the stop for the Detroit drive. Here's another look, Jim, at the touchdown to George LaFrance.
Now watch the change by LaFrance to the ball. Concentrated on all the way, looked it into his hands, and he got 6 points. And I always like to look at the defender when you score against him. His head hangs down as a son of a gun.
So the Cobras facing a 13-0 deficit. Take over first down and 10 at the 20-yard line after Kelly's return. Matt Stevens gets one in the flat, but Kelly bobbles it and drops it. Was it picked off? It could have been, and we saw that last week. The ball bobbled by Kelly, and it's intercepted by Steve Griffin, number 22.
Once again, Matt Stevens is on target, but watch Kelly. He's got it in his hands. Now he's turning. You'll see his eyes. He's turning to look at the defender instead of looking the ball in his hands. Rule number 1, look the ball in your hands before you make the move, and it's picked off.
With the score of 13-0 in favor of Detroit, it's time to take these messages from your local station.
Highland is having a Moonlight Madness sale. The savings are big, but they'll only last a few short hours. So I've made arrangements to get to Highland quickly.
Get this Whirlpool 5,000 BTU window air conditioner for just $177. This Friday and Saturday only, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Highland Superstore's Moonlight Madness sale.
In Canada, the wind blows a little colder. The rapids run a little stronger. Some people say you can taste it in the beer. Molson Golden, Molson Light, a little crisper, a little bolder. Molson is Canadian beer.
Rich Ingold, after the interception, by the way, by Tate Randall, after we saw the replay, and Ingold inside the 20-yard line for a gain of about 8 yards to Steve Griffin, number 22, and he was pushed out of bounds by Matt McKnight. It'll bring up second down and 2 yards to go for the Drive, who lead 13-0.
Boy, great job by Rich Ingold getting the ball off. Weppy Powell came in on a blitz. Holman didn't do a very good job of picking him up, and Ingold ended up picking him up.
So Rich Ingold has his wide receiver split top and bottom, and Ingold is under big pressure, and he, I think, fumbled the snap away from center, Jimmy.
Well, they had a little play action pass, and once again, it was Weppy Powell. Well, let's see if we can see it again. As he's coming out, it looks like a little play action to Weppy Powell, but he's tripping up. He trips over his lineman's legs, over the guard's legs. Weppy Powell in on the blitz. Holman didn't do a very good job of picking him up, and it's a loss of a yard.
Well, they say 2 yards, so make it 3rd down and 5, Jimmy. And Rich Ingold has his offense set. Motion. And it's draw play. And a spinning couple of moves by Alvin Reddick, who's just been activated and into the game, number 31. And Reddick will get up for a gain of about 3 yards, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2 and a decision for Tim Markham, the head coach. Does he go for the field goal or the 1st down?
Gentlemen, you know, Rich Ingold has got the Detroit Drive up 13-0, but he's not having the game of his career. The first touchdown could have just easily been intercepted, and he almost missed the wide-open LaFrance on the second one.
The voice of Huff Arkush, the editor of Pro Football Weekly, and a very good point, Huff. 4th down and 2. Ingold needs 2 for a 1st down, under pressure, and will loft one toward the end zone, and it's picked off there. Picked off by 93, Matt McKnight. It'll be a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 5-yard line. And the Cobras finally have stopped the drive by the Drive.
Well, a ball that shouldn't have been thrown. Ingold again under pressure, just threw the ball up. McKnight reacting off of his safety position. Let's see, he's under pressure now. He throws the ball off his wrong foot. It's kind of a duck. McKnight, you'll see McKnight reacting to the football for the interception.
Here's a look at Matt McKnight out of Fresno State. I asked him where he was from, and he said, well, the beach. And I said, you look like a surfer. He said, yeah, I grew up with a surfboard under my arm. So the Cobras take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 5 after the interception by McKnight. Stevens out in the flat, up over the 10-yard line, and it's complete there to Richard Rogers out of the University of California. And I mentioned earlier in the game, he was part of the play, they call it out here on the coast. Stanford's band got in the way, and Cal must have lateraled 19 times and scored and upset a team led by a guy who now plays in Denver, my hometown, John Elway. And John Elway doesn't like to hear about that. There's a look at Ray Wilsey. He coached at Cal. 2nd down and 2 for Stevens. He goes to the flat, and it's complete to Matt McKnight up over the 20-yard line and close to the 25. It's enough for a 1st down. And that's the end of the 1st quarter. With the score, Detroit 13, LA nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
Nice beard. An electric razor doesn't shave that close. Such a razor, man. It's your face.
Without electric shave, your beard just lays there. Electric shave stands up your beard so it shaves down close, lubricates for comfort.
Good tip.
Electric shave for a closer, smoother shave.
Savages? Nah, guys with irritated skin from shaving. Try new Aqua Velva Skin Conditioning Aftershave. Hey, it's creamy. Guys prefer its soothing formula.
And fragrance. There's something about new Aqua Velva Skin Conditioning Aftershave.
This is where Michael Jordan kept practicing his jump shot when he didn't make varsity. This is where George Brett kept fielding after his team lost the state finals.
Wildcat ball.
And this is where Walter Payton played every game his freshman year as a drummer in the marching band. What do these legends have in common? They've always had a will to win. And they've always had a Wilson.
Mike Hafner and Jim Grabowski, along with Huff Arkush from Pro Football Weekly, as we get ready for the 2nd quarter. Look at the Cobra girls. I come to football games to see them. Don't you guys? There's a guy reading the sports page. Everybody has their own choices out here, right?
There's a guy reading the sports page when the Cobra girls were on the field.
Have to check him out.
You know, one point about the game tonight, guys, this is a better crowd than I think a lot of people expected because he may be reading the sports page. We thought everybody in Los Angeles would be home watching the Lakers and the Pistons, but we've got a good crowd here tonight.
You betcha. Total yards for the first quarter, 84 for Detroit, and of course they lead 13-0. But the Cobras are threatening. They're just short of midfield at their own 24-yard line. First down and 10. Matt Stevens is tied up under center. Will drop straight back under pressure. Scrambles out and is picked off. Picked off at the 19-yard line and run back to about the 24 by George LaFrance. And the rookie tried to sneak one in, Jimmy, and it cost him as LaFrance picked it off.
Well, that's a ball that Matt sure liked to take back. Again, though, under pressure, one of the problems that the Cobras have had is their pass protection. We see a flag on the play now, and who's it going to go against?
Clipping, I think, against...
Probably going to be after the interception. Well, let's wait and see.
Clipping against Detroit was the signal.
There is a photograph of the Cobra Charmers on
down
page 28.
After the clipping penalty, after the interception by George LaFrance. There's Stevens on the sidelines, and after you throw a pick, you say, in the first quarter, you say, I'll come back and get a couple. If it's the fourth quarter, your head will hang down for a while. So Rich Ingold will bring his offense out. They lead. Detroit leads 13-0. There are the turnovers, 2-1, and that's the difference in the game. First down and 10. 15-yard line. Ingold under pressure. Throws one back across the field, and his receiver, number 23, will pay the price.
Yeah, you get those scrambling plays. When you're a receiver thrown over the middle, you know you're going to get hit. And Derek Donald sure laid the lumber that time. And there's Ray Wilson. He's not very happy. I mean, his team has not responded the way he had hoped.
Nate Miller, 23, was the receiver, and he got drilled by Derek Donald. He'll remember that hit for a while. So it's second down and 10 now at the 16-yard line of the drive. They lead 13-0, and before the play can go, penalty markers fly.
Well, we've sure seen our share of the yellow flags.
We'll get the signal. Line up in the neutral zone, Jim.
They're going to call the linebacker. In that case, I think it was Weppy Powell. You know, there is some restrictions on where the middle linebacker can blitz. He has to blitz within the inside shoulder of the guards. And maybe Weppy had blitzed outside of that, and that's probably what the penalty is all about.
3-yard penalty for offside in arena football. That'll bring up a repeat of second down, and now 7 yards to go at the 19-yard line of Detroit. And Ingold will drop the throw. More penalty flag. Pass is complete, but it will come back prior to the play.
And it's going to go against the Cobras, at least by the reaction of Rich Ingold. He's clapping his hands. That must mean it's going against them. Sure enough, another 3-yard penalty against the LA Cobras. That's one way to get first downs.
3 of those still leaves you with first and 1, right at 3 yards. 13-10 and counting. The Detroit drive in white with the ball, leading 13-0. And of course, last week, Detroit manhandled the Cobras for 3 quarters before Matt Stevens brought them back in the 39-26 loss. Second down 4. Ball at the 22-yard line of the drive. Ingold will drop straight back to throw. Going deep, wants it all, got a man open. Richard Rogers had the coverage on the deep receiver, number 98, Dwayne Dixon, but it was overthrown by Ingold. It'll bring up third down and 4 from the 22.
Well, it looked like Dixon was almost looking to the net to see if it was going to bounce off. He looked back to Ingold and said, hey, you just overthrew it. If you're going to overthrow it too much, hit the net. I'll go for it.
Of these youngsters who have to play both ways, Jim and I never did that. You got to get a little tired.
Well, I think they do, and I think you start to see it a lot in the fourth quarter, late in the third quarter of these ball games. Right now, we've just got a couple quarterbacks not quite on their game.
Rich Ingold, the Detroit drive quarterback, will pitch it back to his fullback, and he'll get up over the midfield stripe, Walter Holman, and down to about the 22-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down for Detroit. Gary Mullen, the defensive back, made the stop, but Holman had enough for first down yards.
You can see Holman there in your picture. He's sucking a little wind. I've just mentioned how they get a little tired in the fourth quarter. Looks like Holman's a little tired in the second quarter.
When he blitzes 3 times in a row, then he gets on offense and you go, what, me on a sweep? 11:30. Twin receivers to the top of the screen and motion to the inside. And Ingold on first down has got his man over the middle, George LaFrance, inside the 15-yard line. And he's brought down there. Enough, about 7 yards, make it 8. It'll be second down and 2, Detroit drive.
You'll see the ball now going all the way to a little turn-in pattern. There's Derek Donald. Oh, good move, good spin move. Why? You know, Derek Donald has had a little problem out there.
George LaFrance left his shoes in one spot and his body in the other.
LaFrance is having a heck of a day. You remember last week, he started very hot, and then they went to Dixon.
8-yard gain. It'll bring up second down and 2, and the big fullback Holman will get inside the 10-yard line. More than enough for a first down. They'll mark him down at the 8-yard line, and he stopped there by Matt McKnight.
Let's take a look at the draw play now coming at us. Takes it out to the outside. Good blocking out in front on Brian Clark, number 55. Good tackle by Matt McKnight, and well, yeah, that may have been called in sometimes a penalty. It was close to a late hit.
Let's just say when you use that helmet as a weapon, it costs you. There's a look at Tim Markham, the Detroit Drive head coach. First down and goal at the 8-yard line, and again they try the quick inside draw to Holman, and not this time, as he's tackled right there by Chuck Harris. Well, check that.
Tony
Palomero.
Well, now you can see why Holman's getting a little tired. Look, no blocker out in front of him. Holman waiting to make the tackle, and also, Palomero waiting to make the tackle. And Holman, I think, a little tired. Now, he's been blitzing all evening, and he just carried the ball twice. The reaction wasn't real good.
2-yard loss, so it's second down goal from the 10-yard line. Motion, and Ingold will take a slight roll after pressure. Looking, throws into the end zone, up and incomplete.
You talk about throwing the ball up for grabs. Ingold was falling to his feet and just whipped the ball. Got nothing on the ball at all. That could have been an interception. Let's take a look at it. Good pressure by the Cobras. There's Ingold rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. Watch him falling on his derriere. Throws the ball up. Now here's a good camera shot. Good fight for the ball there between LaFrance and Mullins. And it all goes as an incompletion after a lot of action.
And LaFrance at 6 foot, and Mullen at 5'11", but I think Gary outjumped it. So it's third down and goal from the 10-yard line for Detroit. 8:41 to go, second quarter. Ingold under pressure will be dropped back inside the 15-yard line at about the 14-yard line. An excellent job of pass rushing by Whipkey Powell out of San Jose State, and that's that blitz from the linebacker.
Well, in the first quarter, Detroit was getting excellent protection. In the second quarter, it seems to be breaking down, and Ingold has been scrambling for the last 2 series.
So that'll bring up fourth down and goal. They'll mark it at the 13-yard line of the Cobras, and it will bring on Novo Bojovic to attempt a 38-yard field goal, Jimmy.
Now, this is where the field goal becomes an adventure. 38 yards, easily makeable most times. Remember, it's only 9 feet apart, but it's good.
Excellent job by Bojovic, and remember, we'll talk to him at halftime. 7:52 to go, second quarter. Detroit 16, Los Angeles nothing. English Leather presents an arena ball rule. If kickoffs hit the ceiling or the scoreboard, the ball is placed on the nearest yard line. And now this.
Wait for something good to happen. And make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English leather cologne. English leather. Some guys have it all.
You know, that was a smart move.
You mean renting that budget one-way truck?
I can't believe how much we saved.
Well, budget doesn't charge you for round trip, just one way.
And their rate was low to begin with.
You know, it's kind of fun driving that truck.
Yeah. Air conditioning, stereo.
Automatic, power steering. It's better than our car.
Really? And to top it off, we got $50 off.
Yeah, just by calling budget and mentioning arena football.
Yeah. That budget one-way truck was the best move we ever made.
Welcome back to the LA Sports Arena, where the Detroit Drive, after the 38-yard field goal by Novo Bojovic, have a 16-0 lead. Bojovic puts it into the net. Remember, it's playable, and it is down there by the LA Cobras' Ed Zeman, and they will take over first down and 10.
There's the rule right there. Any kick rebounding off the net is a live ball, may be recovered and advanced by either team. There we just saw an example. He also has the option to down it in the end zone.
So the Cobras face a 16-zip deficit, and Matt Stevens got to get his offense going again. He played from behind all last week in the loss 39-26 at Detroit, and he doesn't like this situation again. Drops to his end zone, penalty markers down. Stevens tried to throw the bomb, and he was knocked down from behind, and the ball skitters away, and it will be called incomplete. The blitz was on that play.
Well, you saw Matt Stevens get a little jawing in with Reggie Mathis. Well, watch the rush from the outside by Mathis, number 63. He's knocked off his feet. Stevens steps up in the pocket, but there's Mathis coming in from his blind side to jar the ball loose. They're going to call it the ball moving forward. His arm was moving forward. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Interesting thought about Reggie Mathis. You know, he's a pro wrestler in the offseason. Here's his name. Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
There's a look at Tim Markham, the head coach of Detroit. And, of course, with his club 4-3, they're one game back of the Gladiators, who are in second place. And there's a look at wide receiver Wade Lockett for the Cobras, and that's who Matt Stevens wants, and he's got him just inside the 15-yard line. He bobbled it, and paid the price, Jimmy, at the dasher board.
But once again, the Cobras receivers are having a little difficulty hanging on the football. They've bobbled 2 or 3 this evening.
Lockett bobbled it, and Nate Miller pounded him into the board. There's a look at Matt Stevens, who leads the league in total yards. Matt Stevens, who's had a try in the NFL, that 6-foot height kind of scares some coaches away, but this arena football is just made for him. On second down, dropping the throw, and it's batted away. And it'll bring up third down. An excellent rush by 6'6" John Corker, and Corker made it tough for him.
Hard to throw over a man 6'6". You know, Mike, in the USFL in 1983, John Corker had 28.5 sacks. Now that's getting to the quarterback.
Corker was also the Defensive Player of the Year, MVP in the league that year, and did so well that I believe it was the Houston Oilers went out and paid him a big bonus, and then those knee injuries started coming.
Well, we've got a
few guys in this booth who know about knee injuries. Matt Stevens, 5 out of 11 for 56 yards, but no points. That's the key in this game. On third down and 3, Stevens under pressure, and he's tripped up in the backfield by Matt Reddick. Alvin Reddick, number 31, and an excellent rush by Reddick from his linebacker spot.
You'll see the blitz coming at him right now. Reddick, who has pretty good speed, that's a 10-yard loss. Just managed to trip up Matt Stevens. Stevens never saw him, though. You got to talk to your fullback on that play and say, come on, guys, no more lookout blocks.
Alvin Reddick out of Rice, and, of course, Tim Markham was an assistant coach at Rice, and he recruited Reddick and remembered him, and now he's here playing for the Detroit Drive, and Markham the head coach. So it'll be a 61-yard field goal attempt by Marty Zendejas. What you want is field position here. If Zendejas makes it, he'll surprise everyone. Ball is down, kick is up, and it's going to be short, and LaFrance will take it at the 8-yard line and bring it out over midfield, and then it's pushed out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. And that's where Detroit will take over, first down and 10. So with 4:57 to go in the second quarter, and Detroit leading 16-0. We'll be back after these messages, your local station.
Announcing the Bell Tire Everything's on Sale sale. What makes the sale different? More tires, more Michelin tires. Every Michelin tire for cars, trucks, vans on sale. Because nobody stocks as many Michelin tires as Bell, nobody can save you more money than Bell. But a word of warning, a sale this big can't last forever. So to save like never before on long-wearing, smooth-riding Michelins, hurry! The Bell Tire Everything's on Sale sale positively ends Saturday. Everything's on sale, like world-famous Michelin radios starting at just $32.39. Now at every Bell Tire team store.
It's the Grand Prix sale at Waterbed Gallery Superstores. You won't believe all the great names making purchases. Like A.J. Foy. He picked up this complete finished waterbed for only $195. How about Kale Yarbovich? He got a king-size finished waterbed for just $145. His buddies, Al and Bobby Unserman, bought Kale the matching suite for only $465. And Shirley Cha-Cha Muldoon says nobody sells motionless mattresses for less. So be sure you make a pit stop at Waterbed Gallery Superstore's Grand Prix sale.
And Hub Arkush from Pro Football Weekly back at the LA Sports Arena, where we've got a 16-0 lead for the visiting Detroit Drive, and they have the ball at the 24-yard line of the Cobras after the return by George LaFrance of the missed Marty Zendejas field goal. Ingold will drop the throw, looking over the middle, and throws it too high, and it's tipped into the air off Steve Griffin, and Wayne Dixon almost came back and made the reception, Jim.
Well, good alert play by Dixon. Just couldn't react back to the football. You'll see interceptions off of those tips very often. There's a good shot at Dixon, 6 feet 2, 203 pounds, out of University of Florida. Quite an athlete.
After the incomplete pass, second down 10, 4:07 and counting. Ingold, as we mentioned, the All-Pro Arena football quarterback last year, and he'll drop the throw again. Has time, now under pressure, and penalty markers fall all over the place as the ball is picked off by Matt McKnight and brought back to the 17-yard line. And I got a feeling we're going to get a holding penalty.
Yeah, I think the play is going to stand because that holding penalty is going to go against Detroit. Let's see Rich Ingold there, under pressure, looking around. Once again, he's going to try to make too many things happen. Now, this is why the quarterbacks make the money, folks. And there's Matt McKnight to pick it off. Do a good job of running the ball back, hang on to the football. But you saw Rich Ingold really pay the price for that interception.
With 3:51 remaining and Detroit leading 16-0 over LA, let's take a break for these messages.
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Actra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Actra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
May I point out our special offer? 2 pizzas for the price of 1.
Oh, thank you very much.
Excuse me, your shoelace is untied.
Oh. Yes, I'd like that 2-for-1 offer.
I'm sorry, that offer has expired.
But I just bent over to tie my shoelaces.
He did. He bent over.
There's nothing I can do.
Show him your shoelaces.
Some pizza places have temporary 2-for-1 offers. At Little Caesars, you always get
Pizza, pizza.
2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
Hey, did you hear the Little Kings won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival?
Yeah. Some distinguished panel of experts finally discovered what some of us have known all along.
It's not some panel of experts that makes Little Kings so good. It's that great smooth taste that comes from Little King's specialized brewing process and finest quality ingredients.
Better stock up before the tourists arrive.
Little Kings, as always, first in its class.
After the Matt McKnight interception, the Cobras trailing the drive 16-0. Are back after it. Gary Mullen goes deep from Matt Stevens down at the 3-yard line. The coverage there by number 23, Nate Miller, and it'll bring up second down and 10.
We're going to take another look at that last interception by Ingold. You'll see the big rush on him, and this is the result of a big rush. Coming from behind is Michael Jones, forcing Ingold to throw the ball up in the air, and here's what happens, folks, an interception. Standing in center field is Matt McKnight just waiting for the football. Ball right in his hands, and it ends up with an interception.
Second down 10, 16-yard line. Stevens again under pressure, and it could have been picked off, was it?
I think it was picked off by one of the people in the stand. That's right. There it is.
That's one of the good things, Barquist. They could keep the ball.
That is something that you will not see in the NFL. The kid made a nice play. I mean, I think he's entitled to the football. He came over the boards and picked that one off in midair. Look at a young kid, too.
I hesitated on the interception because I didn't know his name or his number.
At the corner of our screen, I think I saw Timmy Markham looking over there and yelled at his dad for his name.
Once they signed him up. Third down and 10 on the incompletion at the 15-yard line of the Cobras. They trail 16-0, and Stevens, under pressure again, throws it in the stands, and it's caught again. The fans are cleaning up because Stevens is getting tremendous pressure from the defensive line, Jimmy.
Boy, you called it once again. It's been all evening. Stevens has been under great pressure. You get another look at it right now. From the inside as Walter Holman come at him. He steps up around him. Now watch him get decked by John Corker. Oh, folks, that hurts.
All 6'6", 245 pounds, and on a little 6', 190-pound guy, that's tough. So it will bring on Marty Zendejas. They will put the ball down at the 7-yard line. That's a 43-yard kick plus the 8 yards of the end zone, a 51-yard attempt. The ball's down. The kick is up. It's long enough. No, it's going to be short, and will go out of the back of the end zone, and Detroit will take over. First down and 10 at their own 5-yard line, leading 16-0. 1:27 remaining. 16-0 in favor of Detroit. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Introducing Turbo Wash, the perfect gift for Father's Day. Turbo Wash is the power pressure washer so advanced it's endorsed by Bobby Unser. It cleans your car, boat, or motorhome in minutes. It soaps, sprays, even waxes. Easy to change control tips, get to those hard-to-reach places, or give you the power to clean second-story windows. This Father's Day, give Dad the Turbo Wash.
Available at Kmart, Auto Works, Target, and Auto Express Montgomery Ward.
Hello, I think I'll have a steak dinner.
Well, Monty, it's your lucky day, because now at Bonanza, no matter what steak you order, we'll include an 8-piece helping of our tender golden fried shrimp for only $1 more. That's right, Monty. Golden fried shrimp for only $1 more. Plus the Fresh Testix Food Bar. Bonanza's all-you-can-eat dream come true.
Can you imagine doing this for 20 years?
We're back at the L.A. Sports Arena, and Jimmy, this is a rematch, and I think there's more pressure on Matt Stevens this week than there was last.
Well, you know, Mike, he has that bad ankle. It's been bummed up 3 weeks in a row. He has a little problem with his mobility, and he's under tremendous pressure this evening. He's been batted around 3 or 4 times, has had 2 interceptions, so he's got some problems out there.
And yet Detroit has not missed a beat.
No, they haven't. They came out right from the start.
1:20 remaining, and it's counting. Detroit dominating in the total yardage. They're up to 101, and of course they lead 16-0. First down and 10 at their own 5-yard line, and they're going deep, and Dixon's got it. An excellent move. Then he's stripped to the ball at the 5-yard line, and a penalty marker goes down. It's Richard Rogers who stripped him after he was beaten, and we'll see who. Yes, they give the ball to Detroit, and they'll have first and goal at the 6.
Well, it really was pretty good coverage by Rogers. Let's see it right now. Ingold is looking to Dixon all the way. A fly pattern along the sideline. The ball is underthrown, and good reaction back by Dixon. There was pretty good coverage up to that point by Rogers. We'll see it again. He doesn't turn. Rogers does not turn to look for the football, and Dixon comes back for the ball. Now watch it right here. Dixon makes the move back to the outside, and Rogers just strips it from him. But Dixon alertly falls back on the football.
First and goal at the 6-yard line. It'll be the draw play to the fullback, Walter Holman. Didn't fool the Cobras, and McKnight came up from his linebacker spot and made the stop. It'll be a loss of about a yard, make it 2nd and goal from the 6, and we're at 43 seconds and counting before halftime.
Well, you know, they run the running play once in a while, Mike. It's really very tough to run against this defense.
2nd down goal, 6-yard line of the LA Cobras. Detroit leads 16-0, and they want more before the half. Ingold on the swing pass in the flat, and it's complete and then driven out of bounds. Walter Holman made the catch, and he's going to pay for it.
Oh, Mike, I'll tell you, I just got a little chill watching that play. And we're going to see why right now. A little swing pattern out to Walter Holman. And watch Matt McKnight zero in on Holman. Good hit on him. Now, he breaks that tackle. Holman does. Now, watch him being driven into the wall by Brian Clark. And, oh, folks, that hurt me.
It's a good thing those boards are padded. And Holman is up and saying, yeah, I'm all right. Don't worry about me. Well, the clock stops at 19 seconds, and remember, in the last minute, incomplete pass, out of bounds, penalty, the clock will stop. The only time during the game, the last minute of the first half, last minute of the second half. There's Walter Holman, and he'll be all right. The West Virginia fullback was a little shaken up, but he's tough.
Well, the wind knocked him a little. We don't want to be just so casual about it, but he'll be fine.
Isn't that what football's all about?
That's right.
Oh, we've got a timeout call by Detroit. 19 seconds remaining before halftime, and the drive called timeout. And Rich Ingold will come to the sidelines to talk to his head coach, Tim Markham. Markham with a new hairstyle this year. He got the curls this year. It used to be straight last year when he won the championship with the Denver Dynamite.
Well, after hits like that along the boards, my hair would curled a little bit.
Ingold with 19 seconds remaining. That's when you come over and say, Coach, what do you want to run now?
Tim Markham, who led the Denver Dynamite last year to the championship, has had great experience in this league. He knows what he's talking about. Nice guy, isn't he, Mike?
Yes, he is, and an outstanding young coach. One of these days, he'll get his shot at some level. Maybe back to head coaching in college. He's proven himself in this league. And, of course, Ray Wilsey, there's a guy who was in St. Louis with the Raiders, head coach at Cal.
Many years of experience in football coaching. Ray Wilsey, who's not very happy right now, though, Mike.
No,
I mean, it looks like a rerun of last week's ball game.
There's some LA Cobra fans who say, hey, guys, if you don't start winning, we're going to dress better than you do.
Very enthusiastic crowd here, though, Mike. I was talking to the media director of the Cobras. He said, you know, our fans are great. They really get into this football game, and they're hoping to have some things to cheer about in this second half.
19 seconds remaining in this half, and it's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the top of the screen, and then motion to the top of the screen. And a fake, and then Ingold will carry it into the end zone. Touchdown. The option play by quarterback Rich Ingold, faked it to his fullback and then dove over for the score. The clock stops with 14 seconds remaining, and it's up to 22-0 Detroit.
And there's, wants to play a little fake to Walter Holman, the fullback, by Rich Ingold, and then he just follows Holman into the end zone for the 6 points. It's almost like a quarterback sneak. I guess it'd be the arena version of a quarterback sneak, but except that you have your big fullback leading the way.
Novo Bojovic will come on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of... Kick is up, and it is good. So Bojovic is 2 out of 3 on the extra points, and again, with that 9-foot wide crossbar with goalposts, that's still a tough kick. Detroit leading 23-0 now, and they had a big lead in Detroit. And yet, the Cobras came back, Jimmy.
Well, at halftime of last week's game, it was 30-7 in favor of Detroit. And as you said, the Cobras came back and outscored Detroit 19-9 in the second half. But, of course, Ray Wilsey doesn't want to be put in that position. He is in that position. He's going to have to get him in at halftime and say, we got to come out right away, come out quickly in the second half. Here's a little scoring. 6 points for a touchdown, 4 points for a field goal by drop kick, 3 points for a regular field goal placement, and of course, 1 point for a point after touchdown on a regular placement.
There's a look at Gary Mullen deep for the Cobras. His club trails 23-0. Bojovic will drive it deep, and Mullen will take it 5 yards deep in the end zone, bring it out to the 5, makes his spin move, gets outside over the 10, and will be pushed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line, whereas Cobras will take over first down and 10 with 7 seconds remaining and trailing 23-0. The tackle made by Nate Miller of the Drag.
Remember that these two teams faced off last week, and everybody got a little extras in last week, and in 6 days, you still remember.
Who hit me last, and I'm going to get even.
You know, in a regular season, you may forget some of those things if you play that same team 5, 6 weeks down the road, but if it's only 6 days apart, you remember getting hit, and you're going to get them back.
7 seconds remaining. Remember, the clock will stop on an incomplete pass or out of bounds. Matt Stevens under pressure, a straight arm, and he won't get anywhere as he's dropped back inside the 10-yard line, and the clock will continue to run, and that will end the quarter. An outstanding pass rush that time. Kelly Quinn made the stop, number 85. You see him, and that will end the half with Detroit leading 23-0 over L.A.
You saw Kelly Quinn there on a sack. That's the 4th sack he's had this season. Happy guy. I don't know if the camera caught his little dance that he had, but he enjoyed it.
So that brings us to halftime, and we'll get Hub Arkush down on the field, the editor of Pro Football Weekly, and see if we can grab the head coach and get a short comment from Tim Markham as his team is leading 23-0. It's a repeat of last week, Jim. This team just likes to jump out on top of you and then keep that lead.
I really thought that the Cobras were going to play much better in the first half. They had all the reasons to. They are at home. They were rested. They had good practices during the week, but Detroit came out right away. They came out firing right away, and you see the results in this first half. Detroit 23, Los Angeles nothing.
What will Ray Wilsey say at halftime, Jim? You know, the same thing happened last week. Can he go in there and say something to him to get this team turned around in the second half?
I'm sure Ray's right now trying to figure out what exactly to say. It's going to be awfully tough. Of course, you know, in this game you can get back quickly.
Let's go down to the field to Hub Arkush, and he's got head coach Tim Markham of Detroit.
Well, Tim, 23-0, halftime, just kind of the same script as last week, even a little better. You a little surprised about the big lead?
No, well, I'll tell you, I learned a long time ago in this league, that's not a big lead, okay? That is nip and tuck. Anything can happen. It's a wide open. We've been ahead last 2 games and hung on for our lives. And, you know, there's a lot of football left, believe me. We're going to try to get after them. That's
Next question, I'll let you go. Any other league you'd be going in talking prevent defense? Not in this league, huh?
No, there's no such thing. When you throw the factor of the nets in, anything can happen. We've got a long way ahead. We've got to just do the same things we've been doing. Rushing their passer, keeping ours clean. We'll be all right.
Thank you, Tim. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Hub. With the score at halftime, Detroit 23, L.A. nothing. It's time for these messages.
Race for the gold and win during Kodak Sweepstakes. Over 30 prizes awarded, including the grand prize, a 7-day cruise for 2 from Sitmar Cruises and the Cruise Society. A Sitmar Cruise. It's everything you dreamed a vacation could be. See this display at participating dealers selling quality Kodak products, like Kodak's new inexpensive S100 EF 35mm camera, designed to make 35mm photography simple and fun. And save up to $2 on Kodak film. Join the race for the gold with Kodak. There's no better way to picture your life.
To the future, Mrs. Miller, may I present our laundry room?
Where we'll get out your ring around the collar.
You kidding me? Rings me?
Mr. Miller, come with me. You need whisk.
Come on, honey, they're all the same.
Tough stains like this need whisk.
Really?
Powders just won't do it. Well?
No more ring. And everything looks great. Like my new wife.
Oh, like my new husband.
And a new laundry room.
Where you'll be doing lots of laundry.
Can you really see me doing laundry?
Yeah.
Whisk for ring around the collar and a cleaner wash.
For Clyde's Carpet, it's a mammoth job, inventorying over 20,000 rolls of carpet. To make it easier till Saturday only, we're reducing prices on every full roll, cutting prices on every part roll, and shattering prices on remnants during Clyde's pre-inventory carpet sale. Plush carpet sale $5.99, sculpture carpet sale $4.99. All carpets, including Stainmasters, near, at, or below cost. Every carpet in every store is clearly marked with its sale price. They're all here. They're all reduced during Clyde's gigantic pre-inventory carpet sale, only till Saturday at all Clyde stores.
Get together with Spartan stores and save during the Spirit of America sale. Treat them royal with regular and sugar-free Royal Gelatin Dessert in assorted flavors, 4 for just $1. And you can't pick a better juice than 100% pure, regular, and home-style Tropicana orange juice, just $1.59 a half gallon. And from Eckrich to your house, serve the very best varieties of delicious Eckrich Smoky Links, just 99 cents each. Together, we're Spartan Store.
At the Cobra Charmers. Good-looking lady. But prior to the game, I got a chance to talk to the field goal kicker for the Detroit Drive, Novo Bojovic. And Novo, first of all, in this interesting indoor league game for the kickers, you've got to use a variety of tees. Show them to us and explain the difference, will you?
Mike, this red tee right here is a 2-inch tee, and of this tee you can get more distance and more height on the ball. On the next one is, really this is like about a half-an-inch tee because it's there's a hole in there, so between here and the ground it's like about half an inch. You can get a good distance, but you can drive the ball. It's like a I always bring the golf because kicking and golfing is so similar, so this is like a 2-iron shot right here. So I don't have to get that ball so up so quickly. I can drive the ball and keep it low. And this tee right here is my field goal tee, so I always have to use this tee in this league. So I wish they let us kick off the ground, but in this league, they do let us kick off the ground, but it's so hard getting the ball over the line of scrimmage because the blocking and all that stuff, they put a good rush on us. So I have to use 1-inch tee.
One of the advantages over the NFL guys is that you guys are always indoors, no wind, no weather.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. It's a kicker's dream kicking indoors, but like I said earlier, we do kick a lot of far field goals, like 58 yards or 57 yards. You always got to kick, and the goalpost is so much tighter than NFL.
Speaking of the goalpost, it's about half the width, and it's about 6-7 feet higher. Do you get frustrated knowing that you've got a small target like that to hit?
Yes, and thank God that I'm not a rookie, because, I mean, there's a lot of misses on extra points and field goals, and if you're a rookie, if you don't know how to take this, because psychologically you can get so discouraged, and when you miss a 1 then 2, that you really don't know how to come back. And I see a lot of kickers in this league. There was already 3 changes. So as a veteran, speaking for myself, you know, it takes a lot more than, you know, misses to take me, you know, get me down. So I really don't want to get myself in that situation because there's always the next shot. So, you know, I always got to stay ready, and I don't get really down after any misses. I don't want to miss, but I'm not going to get disappointed.
Continued success, Novo.
Thank you, Mike.
All righty. And we'll be back with more after this from your local station.
If you're looking for nothing but a good time, open up and say, ah. The new album by Poison includes the Party Till You Drop single, Nothing But a Good Time. Open up and say, ah. Ready to come out and say.
Sale price now during the Harmony House Summer Tune-Up Sale.
Mike Tyson. Michael Spinks. Monday, June 27th at 9 p.m. The undefeated Mike Tyson, the undefeated Michael Spinks, the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. There will be no HBO, no cable coverage. See it only on the giant screen closed-circuit telecast at a location near you. Tickets now at all box offices, Hudson's, and Ticketmaster outlets. Tyson versus Spinks, once and for all.
With the score, Detroit 23 and the LA Cobras nothing. This guy next to me is, which you'll see in a few moments, is not very happy. Mike Hope, the general manager of the LA Cobras, and Mike, this kind of repeat of last week.
Boy, Mike, this is just the same thing. We started off, Detroit came out quick. We couldn't get any offense going through an interception, and the whole offense just seemed to bog down. But we did win the second half last week, 19-6, so we're still optimistic.
Well, let's hope that the second half is better. But first, let's talk about you a little bit as the general manager of the LA Cobras. You started in the NBA with the Portland Trail Blazers, had some experience in the NHL. Now you've got a whole unique situation. Tell us about it.
Well, it's very true. This is very interesting. I think a lot of credit goes to Jim Foster and the Arena Football League people who have put this together. It's been a very well-organized, very marketing-oriented type of league, much different than some of the other ones I've been in. There's a unique limited partnership approach, and I think that arena football can enjoy a good future. The biggest problem in the beginning is an awareness. The question, people consider it whether it's a gimmick or a game, and I think if you can tell by the 7,000 or 8,000 people that are here, they think it's a real game, and that's the important thing we want to tell the public.
Mike, as a general manager in the NBA and NHL, were you in charge at all with talent, and are you in charge of talent here in some way?
No, my duties in the other leagues really have been on the business, marketing, promotion, and public relations side. Here, I do work with Ray Wilsey on the football side and on the player acquisition. I am a marketing, business, administrative, financial guy. He's the coach. He's got all the experience. But we do coordinate player personnel as it relates to what we think is the best set of personnel to put on the field for the given opponent.
Mike, let's hope they can come back in the second half, your LA Cobras. Time to take a break, and we'll get these messages from your local stations.
Now, for the first time ever, Dune, featuring scenes that have never been seen before. Starring Sting, Sean Young, and Star Trek's Patrick Stewart.
This is genocide, the deliberate and systematic destruction of all life.
A legendary planet holds the galaxy's greatest secrets.
Long live the fighters!
Dune, for the first time on television with never-before-seen footage. Monday night at 8 on WKVD TV 50. This Father's Day, you can get Dad this. Or you can stop by Joe's Hobby Centers and get Dad involved in the exciting world of radio-controlled model kits. They're easy to build and great family fun, like the Eaglet 50 Sports Trainer. The complete Eaglet 50 package, including the easy-to-build Eaglet 50 kit, engine, muffler, radio, and hardware package, is only $229.95 at Joe's. Give Dad a Father's Day gift he'll always cherish. From Joe's Hobby Centers in Farmington, East Detroit, Dearborn, and Rochester.
At halftime, it's the Detroit Drive 23 and the LA Cobras nothing. We'll take this time for some special messages and be right back at halftime. Mike Hafner and Jim Grabowski back at the LA Memorial Sports Arena, where we've got a 23-0 halftime lead for the Detroit Drive. And I asked you going in, what's Wilsey going to say if we knew we'd bottle it and sell it to every football coach?
No doubt about it, Mike. That's always a problem for the coach. You're down. But the good thing about arena football, a 23-point deficit at halftime doesn't mean the end of the ball game. You've seen these teams bounce back so quickly. What they have to do, though, the Cobras have to do, is they got to protect Matt Stevens. He's been beat up this first half. Those front three guys got to stick their face in him and make some blocks.
Now, were the LA Cobras intimidated by the fact they were beaten up last week?
I don't think so. I just think that they're getting beat again. That's all it's to it. They just got to stick their face in it.
It's one of these type of games where you say, well, it's over with. But as you've mentioned, in arena football, you can come back and score 50 points in the second half and really turn it around.
Those that have followed the game have seen it many times. Chicago twice played Detroit, and they were ahead by 30 points at halftime and almost lost the game. So we got a heck of a second half again ahead of us.
Jim, we're going to take a look at some highlights of the first half, and go ahead.
Well, there's Rich Engel again scrambling around, and that's a great catch by Dwayne Dixon over Matt McKnight. Again, here's Engel. He's been the star of this football game so far, going for George LaFrance. Good change of direction to get that football by George LaFrance. You saw it. Oh, it changed. LaFrance to LaFrance. And here it is coming right at us. This is Engel. Kind of a quarterback sneak. It really sets up like the option. He called Walter Holman into the end zone for a 2-yard gain and a touchdown.
And again, from last week, the same thing for Rich Engel. Last year's Arena Football, Pro Football quarterback. And he's got a situation again where he's got a big lead.
Well, he does that, Mike, but now you can't sit on the football. You know in this game you can't sit on it.
Let's go down quickly to Hub Arkush on the field.
Well, gentlemen, you just mentioned the story of the game right now, 23-0, and any other brand of football, I would think that the team, the Detroit Drive, would have been in the locker room talking about prevent defense. We heard Timmy Markham tell us before they went out, not in this league. 23-0 is not a big lead. Things can change fast, and the Cobras, like they're coming out ready to put some points on the board.
All right, that's Hub Arkush from down on the field, and we get him back and forth from the field, and he'll be back up in the booth to join us for the second half. Again, Jimmy, as the second half is about to get underway, and Hub made a good point. It's not over when it's 23-0 at halftime. In arena football, you can score anytime, any place, and quickly.
With a 50-yard field, one pass will put you into the end zone. I think, though, that Matt Stevens and Ray Wilsey may have been trying for the go for the bomb too quickly when they got down. You notice after a touchdown or a score by Detroit, they came out throwing the bomb. They had plenty of time to throw the short passes. And let's take a look at the first half stats. Passing yardage, 127 for Detroit, only 36 for L.A. Rushing yardage, again, Detroit way out in the lead, 18 yards for Detroit, 2 yards for L.A. Penalties, 3 for Detroit, 8 yards, 4 for Los Angeles, 11 yards, and 2 turnovers apiece. Both Engel and Matt Stevens have had 2 interceptions in this first half. All those caused by pressure.
Tim Markham, the head coach of the Detroit Drive, on the sidelines as the Drive will kick off with Novo Bojovic teeing it up at the goal line. Deep man is Gary Mullen for the LA Cobras, and Mullen would like to get his Cobras some field position so they can at least cut into this 23-0 lead the Drive have. There's a look at that tee, invented, by the way, by Jan Stenerud, the former Kansas City and Minnesota Viking kicker, and it's made especially for sidewinders. And the kick is away, and it will be fielded at about the 4-yard line by Richard Rogers, and Rogers will bring it up over the 20-yard line to the 21, and he's brought down there by number 68, number 88, John Corker. And it'll be first down and 10 Cobras, trailing 23-0 in the third quarter here at the LA Sports Arena.
Well, it's obvious, Mike, that LA has to come out on this drive, put some points on the board. Any kind of points will do, but just get something.
Stevens has his offense huddled around. Rogers will be one wide receiver. Mullen to the top of your screen. 5 out of 14 for 56 yards is not what Matt Stevens wanted in the first half. We'll see if the UCLA rookie can come back. He's under pressure, steps up, got a man on a crossing pattern, and it is caught by Richard Rogers. What a catch. Did they say it's good? A one-handed stab by Rogers out of the University of California, and they'll call it back and say, no, he did not have possession. Let's take a look.
Well, let's take a look at it right now. Coming right at you, there's Stevens lobbing it over to Rogers. Rogers reaches out with that one hand. Did he get it? Looks like. No, he did not. He did not. That was a good call by the referee. Son of a gun, the officials are right.
Second down and 10 for Stevens at the 16-yard line. Inside turn-in by Gary Mullen, and it's complete up to about midfield, and Nate Miller makes the stop. Let's take a look at next week in Arena Ball. On the 22nd, Detroit will travel to New York. On the 24th, that is Saturday, Chicago at Pittsburgh, and there's number 1 and 2 in the league. And Los Angeles and New England will tangle on Monday night, and it's L.A. New England on ESPN. So check your local listings. Now look at the fans here of Arena Football, and they love their Cobras, even though they're struggling tonight in the first half. Will be Chicago at Pittsburgh next week. We'll see so far the undefeated Bruisers against the second place Pittsburgh Gladiators. First down and 10 for Matt Stevens. And he's going deep to Gary Mullen in the end zone. And the coverage by Nate Miller. And the ball falls harmlessly. And it'll bring up second down and 10 at the Cobras 24.
Well, Gary Mullen ran up the back of Nate Miller, and as he fell to the ground, he immediately looked to the official and said, "Will you call something?" But the official certainly didn't buy it.
When I was playing wide receiver, it was always pass interference.
That's right. And if you were a defender, it was never pass interference.
12:34 and counting, third quarter. Cobras trail 23-0 to Troy. Stevens on second down, drops to throw, has time, has a man, Richard Rogers. Catches it at the 17-yard line and then tries to make a move back inside, and the officials will mark it back at the 18, where it will bring up a third down and 3 yards to go. A long 3 yards for Matt Stevens and his offense. There's a good look at Ray Wilsey trying to figure out how to get closer than 23-0.
He's scratching his head. I think what they have to do, though, Mike, is stay with the short stuff, move the ball down the field with those 5- and 8-yard gains.
Third down and call it 4 at the 18-yard line of the drive, and Stevens needs first down yardage. Ball is complete to Matt McKnight, and he's going to be short. It's going to bring up fourth down and less than 1 yard. Tackle again made by Nate Miller.
Well, it looked like McKnight was very close to the first down marker, but he made a move to try to pick up bigger yardage, and he got driven back, and it's going to be fourth down and 1 yard to go. Well, I think you could see Matt right there that he's angry that he didn't get that first down.
All receiver coaches say get to the sticks so that your route is enough for a first down, and McKnight wasn't happy. Fourth down and 1. Ball just past the 15-yard line. And we get timeout from Matt Stevens. He didn't like the lineup, and he'll go to the sidelines and talk to head coach Ray Wilsey. With a score 23-0 Detroit, we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Arena swimwear from MC Sporting Goods.
Who in the world is Tracy Ullman? This week, how about Francesca? Oh, yes.
Your first date. What if he doesn't like me? Dear diary, I am breathless with anticipation.
Francesca, can we take a minute to discuss what it means to be an adult?
Sure. You mind if I smoke?
Francesca, one of the many faces of Tracy Ullman. Sunday.
Mike Hafner, Jim Grabowski, and Hub Arkush has rejoined us back up in the booth here at the LA Sports Arena. We've got 11:03 remaining, third quarter, and the LA Cobras with the football on fourth down and 1, trail Detroit 23-0. And Jimmy, right now, LA's got to get some kind of points on the board, hopefully in the end zone after they make this first down.
Well, there's the key right there, Mike. Making that first down, it's a long yard.
Matt Stevens brings out his offense. One receiver in tight, and Matt will sneak for the first down and be very close.
Jim Stevens says it's a fumble. I have the football. It should be a fumble, but I don't think officials are going to call it that way. They're going to call Matt Stevens down. Now the question is, did he have enough for the first down? And you could see all the Detroit Drive players saying there's no way, it's our ball.
They'll bring the sticks in from the sidelines to verify one way or the other. It's either first down and 10 Cobras at their own 14-yard line, or first down and 10 Detroit, depending upon the spot and the mark. Let's take a look. Stevens didn't get enough yardage for first down. The ball will go over, and Detroit, leading 23-0, will take over first down and 10 at their own 14-yard line. So Rich Ingold with a 23-point lead will bring his offense out. There's no stalling in this kind of football.
Ray Wilsey deep in thought along the sideline trying to figure out what can I do? What can I do to get this team to get something on the board?
Why don't you change quarterbacks?
I don't think so. I think they're going to get someone to block for Stevens.
Rich Ingold, they won't change him because he's having a big night. Back to pass, got a man deep at the 5-yard line, intended for his wide receiver, number 22, Steve Griffin. Or was it Nate Miller? No, it was 22, Steve Griffin. Good pressure on Ingold, but he got the ball away, Jim.
Well, let's watch the pressure right now, boy. You get the bird's eye view right there. The pressure coming right into the face. I love it. That was Brian Clark making the hit. Now you see the result here. Just overthrown. Steve Griffin. He had a step on his defender, but the ball just overthrown.
Look at Rich Ingold.
Shaking the arm a little bit, Mike.
185 out of Indiana University in Pennsylvania. And he says, just because I played at small college doesn't mean I can't throw it. And he's proved it tonight. Ingold looking deep. Got a man deep. Dwayne Dixon, and just overthrows Dixon at the 7-yard line. Wade Lockett had the coverage, and it'll bring up third down and 10 from just inside the 15.
Now here's a good shot, an ISO on Dwayne Dixon. You'll see Lockett get a little bit of a hold. Dixon's got a step on him, but the ball is just overthrown. Good effort by Dixon. Here's another look at it. Now watch the ball just off his fingertips. And Ingold says, boy, just about another 6 inches. We had a big one.
Ingold brings his offense out. Third down and 10. Just inside the drive 15-yard line. Ingold needs 10 for a first down. He's going for it all across the middle. And will there be a flag? No. Excellent coverage by Derek Donald on wide receiver Dwayne Dixon, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Like a true receiver, Dwayne Dixon, you'll see him going up for the football, and there's Derek Donald, who's really got the position on him going high, and Dixon looks to the officials and say, how about a little pass interference, but no way.
Is this golf ball still in?
8:23 remaining. Third quarter. Detroit has a 23-0 lead and will bring on Novo Bojovic. Out of the hold of Rich Ingold, a 51-yard attempt by Novo. Ball is down on the tee, and the kick is driven, but it will be way short and go up into the stands. And the ball will be marked where it goes out of bounds. And the Cobras will take over first down and 10, trailing 23-0. We'll be back after these messages.
The test of a great airline is not just how fast it moves you in the air, but how fast it moves you on the ground. That's why at some of the busiest airports in the world, United Airlines offers you the most advanced baggage systems, faster ticketing and boarding procedures, and the most spacious, convenient, efficient terminals in the business. United Airlines. From the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Time to read the Wall Street Journal.
Okay, I'll hold.
Perhaps it's because reading the Journal had a lot to do with making them so busy in the first place.
Call 800-637-4800 for this great Journal subscription offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-637-4800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Mike Hafner, Jim Grabowski, and of course, Hub Arkush with us from Pro Football Weekly. Your observations?
Well, we've got the mic back on. I was just commenting, 2 fly patterns and a deep post on the first 3 plays of the half. Detroit not sitting on a lead.
And the Cobras need to come back from 23-0, and they do with a pass to Wade Lockett just short of midfield at the 25-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the Detroit 23-yard line. It's a gain of 7, bring up second down and 3.
Well, there's a good shot of the Cobra right there.
I'd hate to see that in my locker. Second down and 3 for the Cobras at the 23-yard line of the drive. Stevens under pressure, steps up, throws, and complete. Across the middle to Richard Rogers. And Rogers has more than enough for a first down, and he's tackled there by Wade Lockett. Or checked that it's Wade Lockett, the receiver. And it's down to the 16-yard line of the drive, and it'll be first down and 10.
Well, here's the pressure once again on Matt Stevens. Good job of stepping up in the pocket. Just his whole concentration was on Wayne Lockett. Good pass, good reception.
Lockett gets first down yardage to the 12-yard line. First down and 10 Cobras. 6:40 and counting. Third quarter. Cobras trailed by 23-0. Lockett's caught 3 so far tonight, and he had a big second half against Detroit last week. Gary Mullen on a quarterback keeper, and it was a trick play, Jimmy.
Well, I had heard that they may use a trick play. What they did is they had Gary Mullins line up at quarterback, and the reason being that they felt like Mullen was getting some double coverage. Now, you can't do it by the rules. You got to play man-on-man. They feel Matt Stevens is a good athlete, and Mullen could have thrown the football to Matt Stevens, who was lined up in Mullen's position. But you'll see it right there. There's Mullen as a wide receiver. This is their play that they said they were going to call in a key position on the field, and they didn't. They got a big first down.
Well, they got 9 yards. It'll be second down and 1 from the 3. Stevens hands off to his big fullback, Whitney Powell, out of San Jose State, and he will get a first down inside the 2-yard line, and it'll bring up first and goal for the LA Cobras.
Tough yardage down by the goal line, especially in arena football.
Mark it just inside the 2-yard line. It's enough for a first down. First down and goal at the 2 for the Cobras. They trail 23-0 with 5:16 and counting remaining in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, and the handoff to Rex Powell, and the big San Jose State fullback blasts into the end zone, and the Cobras are finally on the board.
And you could see a little discussion going on with Matt Mullen and Tate Randall.
It appeared there was a very simple adjustment on that play. On the play before, they tried to take Powell right up the middle, and it was all stacked up. They sent him about 3 yards wide. Outside those 3 down linemen you're allowed in arena football, he was able to get the couple of yards and take it into the end zone.
We'll bring on Marty Zendejas of the Zendejas clan. There must be 4 or 5 that have kicked in college and in the pros. And Zendejas will come on for his first attempt at an extra point tonight. Interesting story. Eric Beavers, the holder, number 5, also went to Nevada Reno. And so the holder and kicker reunited from their college days, and it works as Marty Zendejas drills it for the extra point. So with the score, 23 Detroit, 7 LA. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Now, at the Giant Crestwood Dodge, it's a giant summer clearance with giant savings on a giant selection of quality used cars.
Do you think you said giant enough?
Hey, this is big. Crestwood has a huge selection of used cars from GM, Ford, and Chrysler, all clearance price for incredible savings.
Such as?
How about the special purchase of 25 air-conditioned, loaded K-Car 4-doors? Take your pick for only $109 a month. The Giant Crestwood Dodge Summer Clearance. It's huge, it's colossal, it's gigantic, it's big.
Highland is having a Moonlight Madness sale with big savings, but it's only for a few short hours. With traffic backed up, I'm getting a jump on everyone.
Get this JVC Auto Reverse car stereo with free normal installation for just $118. This Friday and Saturday only, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Highland Superstore's Moonlight Madness sale.
Mike Hafner, Jim Grabowski, and Hub Arkush back at the LA Sports Arena, where the home-standing LA Cobras have finally gotten on the board. And Hub, as we watch the kickoff, they can come back quick, can't they?
Oh, they can score them awful quick. I did a game between Detroit and Chicago a couple of weeks ago. Detroit put up 20 points in the last minute 30 to almost win that one.
Good return by George LaFrance from out of the end zone up over his own 20-yard line to the 21. And Detroit, who has given up its first score, takes over first down and 10 at their 21-yard line, leading 23-7 with 4:03 and counting.
We'll take a look at the scoring drive here. 5 plays, 30 yards, 3 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. It resulted in a 2-yard touchdown run by that man there, Weppy Powell.
Out of Tonga and San Jose State. Rich Ingold back to throw, and he's got it complete at the sidelines up over midfield, down to about the 23-yard line. Caught there by George LaFrance and taken out of bounds.
George LaFrance is a fine compliment to Dwayne Dixon. LaFrance has caught 24 passes coming into this football game. And when they try to double up on Dixon, you can always go to LaFrance.
See the clock. It's a running time until the last minute of each half. 3:16 and counting. And it's second down 3. 23-yard line of the Cobras. Ingold back to pass. And it's complete. And bouncing off the play and then out of bounds is Steve Griffin, the wide receiver out of Purdue. And they'll mark him out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Enough for a first down. First and 10, Detroit leading 23-7.
Well, we're going to see Steve Griffin really get hit front and back. Watch him from the back. Joe Kelly now from the front. That's Ed Zeman. But it really helps to keep him up on his balance. And Griffin picks up another 4 yards.
Mark the ball at the 13-yard line. First down and 10, Detroit. 2:34 and counting. Third quarter, Detroit leads 23-7. Rich Ingold brings his offense out. Wide receivers to top and bottom. On first down. Looking outside. The ball batted up in the air by 84 Dwayne Jackson of the Cobras, and it falls incomplete and will bring up second down and 10.
This is a contingent that comes to the L.A. games. These are Tongans. They're great fans of Weppy Powell. There is a small contingent in L.A. of people from Tonga, and they come out to cheer Weppy Powell on, and you can see they take off their shirts. Now, if this was up in Minnesota, it wouldn't work too well. We'd call them nuts, but here in L.A. and indoors, it's quite all right.
You're showing your age. They play indoors in Minnesota now.
Well, see, when I played, it was outdoors.
All right. Second down and 10 from the 13-yard line for Rich Ingold in this Detroit drive, and he'll look for all of it in the end zone. Touchdown! A perfect pass to Steve Griffin, the wide receiver out of Purdue on the crossing pattern. And it's touchdown Detroit, 29-7 with 1:20 and counting, third quarter.
We'll see right now that this is a well-thrown ball by Rich Ingold. Good protection out in front, steps up, hits number 22, Steve Griffin, right on those numbers. And there's Joe Kelly about a step behind. The second time Kelly has been beat for a touchdown this evening.
We might, in defense of Joe Kelly, say that last week he became a father for the first time and spent a lot of time at the hospital with Mama, and I don't think he's got his conditioning back yet. There's a look at Tim Markham, the Detroit Drive head coach on the sidelines. He's happy with a 29-7 lead. And we'll get Novo Bojovic's attempt at the extra point, and it's good. Even though it didn't hit the net, he got it high enough. With 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it's 37 in favor of the Detroit Drive. English Leather presents an arena ball rule. A zone defense is outlawed, remember. Man-to-man defense is the only pass defense allowed. And now this.
Wait for something good to happen and make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English Leather Cologne.
Some guys have what others want. Some guys have it all.
English Leather. Some guys have it all.
You know, that was a smart move.
You mean renting that budget one-way truck?
I can't believe how much we saved.
No, budget doesn't charge you for round trip. Just one way.
And their rate was low to begin with.
You know, it was kind of fun driving that truck.
Yeah.
air conditioning, stereo.
Automatic, power steering. It's better in our car.
Really? And to top it off, we got $50 off.
Yeah, just calling budget and mentioning arena football.
Yeah, that budget one-way truck was the best move we ever made.
A look at the fans as the kickoff from Novo Bojovic comes and is caught out of the end zone by the deep man Gary Mullen for the Cobras. And the Cobras will take over first down and 10 at their own 5-yard line. 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Cobras trail the Detroit drive 30-7.
You see Matt McKnight there. He's something about this play that he didn't like. Let's take another look at the touchdown to Steve Griffin. That's the excellent throw by Rich Engleby, right on number 22. And again, Joe Kelly just a step behind, but a well-thrown ball by Engleby.
Scoring drive, 5 plays, 29 yards. The answer to the Cobras' first score of the evening. And there's a look at Steve Griffin, who caught the touchdown pass. So Matt Stevens takes over his Cobra offense and will go deep downfield to Richard Rogers. And the ball was thrown behind and back by the stands and had no chance. So that's the end of the third quarter, with Detroit leading LA 30-7. We'll be back after these messages.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now with 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
When it comes to pitching, you can never be satisfied with your performance. You have to feel you can do even better, to be the best there is. And when it comes to sports weeklies, the best there is for my money is the Sporting News, with more baseball coverage than you'll find anywhere else. Exclusive features, photos, updates, and inside stories, plus thousands of stats, box scores, and authoritative baseball facts in every issue. The Sporting News, the most baseball for your money, and now it's yours at a terrific 75% savings.
Call 1-800-533-1800 and get 55 issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of just $7.50. You'll save 75% off the cover price, save 50% off the regular subscription rate. So call now, 1-800-533-1800. That's 1-800-533-1800.
Don't I get 2 pizzas for the price of 1?
Don't think of it as one pizza. Think of it as 1 pizza and 1 box.
What am I going to do with a box?
Ever hear of origami?
What's that?
A pterodactyl.
A what?
At Little Caesars, you never get just 1 pizza. You get
pizza.
2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
Mike Hafner, Jim Grabowski, and Hub Arkush back at the Sports Arena as we begin the fourth quarter. And on 2nd down and 10, Matt Stevens throws a 1-hopper to his wide receiver. And here's what you missed during the quarter show. The Cobra Charmers, as they call them, Hub. I think they draw a few fans.
I think they draw more than a few fans. Not only do they dance well, but they don't wear a lot, do they?
It's a family show, remember. 6,861 here tonight to watch the Cobras, and their team is down 30-7. On 3rd down and 10, Stevens finds Mullen. He needs first down yardage over the 15, breaks the tackle up over the 20, and he's got more than enough for a first down on a crucial 3rd and 10 situation. The tackle finally made by a defensive lineman, Jeff Wiska, who got back downfield to make the stop. First down, Cobras.
And to get back into this football game, the Cobras have to go to Gary Mullen. He's 3rd in the league in receptions with 37. He's their main guy, and we haven't heard much of him this evening.
So first down and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Cobras. They trail 30-7. Stevens, again on the quick pass, this time to Wade Lockett out in the flat. And he'll get over midfield and they'll mark him down at the 23-yard line.
And there's another man we haven't heard too much of this evening. Last week's game, Lockett had 3 TD scores. This evening, he hasn't been effective.
13-27 and counting, and the Cobras face a 23-point deficit and need to get it back quickly. Second down, 4 yards to go at the 23 of the drive, and Stevens wants a bunch, and he gets Mullen inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him at the 17, enough for a first down, and the tackle made by Nate Miller, number 23, for the drive.
It looked like Gary Mullen wanted to put the ball in the face of Nate Miller, say, yeah, I beat you that time.
One thing we should touch on tonight is the playoff implications of this game. In order to win a tiebreaker with Detroit, Los Angeles needs not only to win this ball game, but win it by 14 points. And with them currently sitting 3rd and 4th in the league, it could be important about 5 weeks from now.
Tiebreakers are always important at the end of the year, and both teams know it. First down, 10. Ball at the 17-yard line of the drive, and Stevens will drop the throw. Under pressure, looking, waving his receivers around, and then throws it to an open green spot on the turf. And it falls incomplete. Will bring up second down and 10. Penalty marker down.
Looked like Matt Stevens was trying to wave McKnight to stay in his pattern. McKnight turned the ball off, turned his pattern off. McKnight was just short. Stevens, there again, you look at Mullen getting into the action again. Stevens saying, hey, come on, let's get back in the huddle and let's play football.
I didn't see that flag go down, but one thing I did see was Gary Mullen being held on the sideline by the defensive back. So I don't know what they're going to call here, but that could be part of it.
Matt Stevens, the rookie out of UCLA, his first year in arena football, and of course, he won a Rose Bowl game against Iowa.
Oh,
when he was at UCLA.
Spoken like a Pac-10 man, I'm sure.
Had to stick that in for the old alma mater. 12:21 remaining, 4th quarter. Second down and 10, facing the offense of Matt Stevens. And you were right, Hupp. Mullen was interfered with as a wide receiver, and they'll call it pass interference, a 5-yard penalty, give him an automatic first down.
We talked about Mullen being held down tonight, the league's 3rd leading receiver. I think he's 1st in the league in touchdown receptions, and now we see how Detroit may be doing it.
First down and goal, 9-yard line of the Detroit drive. Mullen in motion. Stevens drops to throw. Has got his man open in the end zone. Touchdown, Wade Lockett. A crossing pattern to Lockett. And he beat number 29, Tate Randall. And the Cobras have made it 30-13 with 11:53 and counting, 4th quarter.
We'll see a picture of it coming right at us now. Matt Stevens steps up in that pocket, looking at Wayne Lockett. Good grab. Now look where the wall comes into factor right here. He had to shorten his strides, knowing that he was going to hit the wall. Good grab by Wayne Lockett. Good throw by Matt Stevens.
Marty Zendejas will come on to attempt the extra point. Ball is down out of the hold of Beavers. The kick is up, and it's good. So with 11:22 remaining, it's Detroit 30 and now LA 14. Stay with us. It's not over. We'll be back after these messages.
Some guys, they have it all. Some guys are just too big. Some guys, they have a ball. Some guys get left out in the rain.
Don't wait for something good to happen. Make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English leather cologne.
Some guys have what others want. Some guys have it all.
English leather. Some guys have it all.
This is where Michael Jordan kept practicing his jump shot when he didn't make varsity. This is where George Brett kept fielding after his team lost the state finals.
Wildcat ball.
And this is where Walter Payton played every game his freshman year as a drummer in the marching band. What do these legends have in common? They've always had a will to win. And they've always had a Wilson.
With 11:22 remaining, you take a look at what I hope isn't a real L.A. Cobra. I've got a feeling it's just a rubber one, but it'll scare you to death.
If it's a real one, that guy's nuts. So
A look at Lenny Taylor, the deep man for Detroit, but it comes up short and will be returned out to the midfield and over midfield by one of the upbacks. And Nate Miller returns it to about the 23-yard line.
that last scoring drive by the Cobras, 5 plays.
And a touchdown. 11:07 remaining. Detroit leads 30-14, and the L.A. Cobras need to come up strong defensively. There's a look at the defensive secondary, and there's Wade Lockett. Wade Lockett now has to play some tough defense after scoring that touchdown. And there's the pitch out to the big fullback Holman, and Holman will get up over the 20-yard line of the Cobras, where he's tackled by number 55, Brian Clark.
You think at this point in the ball game, maybe you're running the football to eat up the clock, but remember, folks, the clock does not stop until last minute of the second half.
3-yard gain by Holman. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7, just inside the 20-yard line of the Cobras.
There's a good shot right there at what the Nets look like.
Rich Ingold brings out his offense. 2nd down, 7, just inside the 20-yard line of the Cobras. Motion. And the alley-oop pass down the sidelines is called incomplete. Dwayne Dixon made the catch, but remember, you have to have both, just one foot in, and he didn't have either of his feet in.
He was hugging the wall. Official right there on the call, and you saw how Dwayne Dixon turned around. He couldn't believe it. They should have had the reception. But he didn't argue very long.
On the incomplete pass, it's 3rd down and 7 at the 20-yard line for Detroit. And Rich Ingold looking for 7 yards and a 1st down.
This arena this evening is full of snakes. There's another man with his little pet. Oh, yeah, sure, bite the head off of it.
9:19 and counting. 3rd down and 7 for Ingold. Needs 7 for a 1st down, and the ball will fall harmlessly at the 10-yard line. Wade Lockett said, yes, we had the coverage, and it'll bring up 4th down for Detroit.
It almost looked like someone made a mistake in the pattern. There were 2 receivers in that general area, and there shouldn't have been.
That was a call very similar to an NFL call, too. The Detroit players wanted interference. There was some contact, but I think what the ruling was, the ball just wasn't even close to catchable.
With a 16-point lead, Detroit will come on to attempt a 36. Well, it's 27 yards plus 8 of the end zone, making a 35-yard attempt by Novo Bojovic. Bojovic out of the hole of Ingold. Ball is down, kick is up and on the way and off the netting, and will be down in the end zone by Wade Lockett, and that will bring in the ball up to the 5-yard line, where the Cobras will take over 1st down and 10, trailing Detroit 30-14. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
Announcing the Bell Tire Everything's on Sale sale. What makes this sale different? More tires. Every tire for cars, trucks, vans is on sale. Like high-performance Kelly tires. Because nobody stocks as many Kelly tires as Bell, nobody can save you more money than Bell. But a word of warning, a sale like this can't last forever. So to save like never before on Kelly and more, hurry. The Bell Tire Everything's on Sale sale positively ends Saturday. Everything's on sale, like Kelly Metric speed-rated steel radials, starting at just $28.49. Now at every Bell Tire team store.
All right, Alex, you know the rules, buddy. Let me have a steers, Pat. About my monthly tab. Seems really high.
No, that's right.
Looks high to me.
Maybe you shouldn't let your buddy use it.
My buddy.
Brown hair, wears it long.
Is he short?
Yeah. Talks funny, too.
Wolf?
Says that a lot.
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Eats the peanuts right out of the bowl, too.
We're back to action as the L.A. Cobras take over 1st down and 10 at their 5, and Matt Stevens throws it up for grabs, and it's picked off by defensive specialist Nate Miller, and there
Mullen to turn in. Mullen had turned out into the hands of Nate Miller. Miller does what he can to get for 6 points. He's not going to make it all the way. Now let's see if we can pick up some of the extracurricular action right here. There's Brian Clark making the tackle on Nate Miller. Nate Miller, number 23, had 2 interceptions last week against the Cobras. There's the penalty, face mask penalty against Detroit. Unnecessary roughness, illegal personal foul against the LA Cobras. They nullify each other. And let's look at the turnovers now. That last one, a key one for Los Angeles. That may have just put them out of the ball game. That's the third interception by Matt Stevens.
A 14-yard return by Miller on the interception, and that will give the drive a first down and goal just outside the 5-yard line. 7:45 and counting left in this fourth quarter, and Detroit leads 30-14 and looking for more. Rich Ingold sends 3 wide receivers right. Now he brings George LaFrance back to the near side, and Ingold will throw to the end zone and incomplete. And the penalty marker goes down.
That's going to be a pass interference. There was a bump just as the ball went up in the air, and it was right out in front of everybody. Flags through from all 3 directions on that.
Dwayne Dixon was the intended receiver, but there was a mix-up, and we'll see what the penalty marker was for, and I think you're right, Huck.
You know what? What have you really got to lose on something like that? You figure if they put in 6, the game's over anyway. Let's take away the play. Let's give another shot at stopping it from the touchdown.
Illegal procedure called against the Detroit drive. Holding, defensive holding called against the Cobras. So they'll play first down over. It'll be first and goal at the 5. And Tim Markham says, Rich, get over here. I got an idea for you from 5 yards out.
And you can't draw it on the ground. It's artificial turf.
And that last play, the interference I was talking about, it's almost like the play in basketball on the fast break where the defender's coming down and saying, hey, I ain't going to give him a free one. He tackles the guy. At least they make him shoot a couple free throws.
7:07 and counting. Detroit leading 30-14 and pressing the goal line of the Cobras. Ingold looking for the crossing pattern. Got a man open and touchdown. Detroit drive. George LaFrance on the crossing pattern, and Ingold found him. Touchdown.
Once again, good protection for Rich Ingold. He's a happy young man, as you see right there. He was looking for LaFrance, found him in the corner of the end zone. Let's see it now. You'll see LaFrance going in motion to the right side. Now he turns it upfield. Just a crossing pattern here. Now it's Joe Kelly trying to make the defense on George LaFrance. But look, he's 3 yards behind him. And Rich Ingold, a very happy young man. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, he doesn't do it quite like Walter Payton has done it in the past, but he did it pretty well.
The difference is Walter doesn't touch the ground as he goes over.
Ingold on his attempt for 2. The alley-oop in the end zone, and it's good. An excellent catch by Dwayne Dixon on the alley-oop for the 2-point extra point, and the lead stretches for 36-38 for Detroit, 14 for LA. We'll be back with 6:05 remaining in the fourth quarter after these messages.
Hey, did you hear the Little Kings won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival?
Yeah. Some distinguished panel of experts finally discovered what some of us have known all along.
It's not some panel of experts that makes the Little Kings so good. It's that great smooth taste that comes from Little King's specialized brewing process and finest quality ingredients.
Better stock up before the tourists arrive.
Little Kings, as always, first in its class.
You know, that was a smart move.
You mean renting that budget one-way truck?
I can't believe how much we saved.
Well, budget doesn't charge you for round trip, just one way.
And the rate was low to begin with.
You know, it's kind of fun driving that truck.
Yeah. Air conditioning, stereo.
Automatic, power steering. It's better than our car.
Really? And to top it off, we got $50 off.
Yeah, just by calling budget and mentioning arena football.
Yeah. That budget one-way truck was the best move we ever made.
Mike Hafner, along with Jim Grabowski and Hub Arkush from Pro Football Weekly, and we're here at the LA Sports Arena where the Detroit drive is pretty much put it away, 38-14, after the touchdown pass from Ingold to LaFrance. And as the ball came off of the nets, it was fielded, tried to be returned by Ed Zeman, and he only got out to the 1-yard line. Now we got a little pushing and shoving.
Well, the game does seem to be getting out of hand a little bit. This is a good brawl, though. I mean, I tell you, usually they've got them separated by now. These guys are going at it pretty good. Well, they're having their fun, as boys will do. I think one point we should make is on that 2-point try after the touchdown, people watching their first or second arena game might say, hey, they're piling it up a little bit. Not in this game. There's too many ways to put points on the board, and I'm sure Ray Wilby isn't thinking at all about Tim Martin going for the 2.
Well, how many points did Detroit score in 2 minutes against Chicago?
I was doing it for some of our local affiliates, and as a matter of fact, there was 1:30 left in the game. The Bruisers were up 35-13, and the play-by-play guy turned to me and said, well, I guess this one probably isn't over yet. And I said, nah, it's in the barn. Don't worry about it. With 6 seconds left, Detroit was down 6 and had the ball on the Bruisers' 17-yard line. So it's really not over. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. You got to tie a game. It can happen.
Well, I think the Cobras are going to need that type of play. There's some hard-working hands of an offensive lineman. Notice that's Chuck Harris there. He's trying to wonder, what do we got to do to get back into this football game? There's the key right there, Matt Stevens.
A 24-point deficit Stevens is facing. And he throws to Joe Kelly out over the 10-yard line up to about the 11. It will depend upon where they spot it, whether he gets the first down or not. Tate Randall made the stop for Detroit. And it looks like enough for first down yardage. With 5:30 remaining, 38-14 Detroit. And Matt Stevens and his L.A. offense faces a big hill to climb. First down, 10 L.A. There's Joe Kelly, the wide receiver, to the top of your screen. Stevens back to throw again and trying to hit number 32. Ed Zeman is fullback out of the backfield, and he throws it short, and it'll bring up second down and 10.
Well, Stevens is waiting for Zeman to make the cut. As Zeman tried to make a cut, he slipped. The ball was thrown on timing. No one around.
To do a real accurate analysis of this game, I'm not just trying to make it exciting by saying the Cobras can put 3 touchdowns on the board. They can, but I'm remiss in not pointing out that I'm not sure they can stop Detroit from scoring the way this game's gone so far.
That's right.
Second down, 10. Ball at the 11-yard line of L.A. Stevens back to throw, going deep. That man open, Joe Kelly, and he throws it short. And it'll bring up third down. Had him open.
That's the case right there, Mike. It looked like a corner route by Joe Kelly. The ball just thrown wide. Kelly had no chance for it, but if the ball was better thrown, we may have had those 6 points.
38-14. 4:09 and counting. Remember, the clock does not stop on incomplete passes or out of bounds until the final minute of each half, and we're 3 minutes away from that right now. L.A. trailing 38-14, down by 24, and Stevens brings motion by Rogers and intended it for Rogers, but it was tipped away. Tipped away by number 88, John Corker. And it'll bring up 4th down and 10 for the Cobras. And at 6'6", Corker can get in the way of those low bullet shots to the sideline.
That's 6 inches that Corker has on Matt Stevens, the quarterback, and it's pretty tough to throw over if you don't have the passing lane.
Fans not happy because number 2, Marty Zendejas, comes out to attempt a long field goal. 45 yards plus the 8 of the end zone. That's 48, add 2, it's 50. And the kick will be way short and will be fielded at the 4-yard line. And brought out back to about the 5-yard line by number 27, George LaFrance. And with 3 minutes remaining, Detroit has the ball in the lead, 38-14. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
DOC continues Frame Without Fortune sale. All frames still reduced up to 65%. Just released styles like Laura Biagiotti, $110 now, $59. Benetton was $85 now, $49. Jeffrey Bean, $75 now, $26. Prices so low, DOC will beat anyone's price or your frames are free. And quality soft lenses start at just $29.95. But hurry, DOC's Frame Without Fortune sale unfortunately ends soon.
Sunday on It's Gary Shandling Show. It's an Everybody Get in the Act Summer Spectacular.
Oh, what's it about, if I may ask?
Well, it's about Gary's baseball card collection.
You think that's enough to carry a whole show?
Not to mention Pumping Iron with Pete.
Oh, it sounds a little shaky, you know.
And a visit with Grant Pat.
Oh, you got Cub Scouts. Right. Oh, you'll be fine then.
All this fun, plus a fabulous trip to the ballpark.
I know, it's just too much excitement to take.
It's Gary Shandling Show, Sunday.
Well, head coach Tim Markham of the Detroit Drive feels safe with a 38-14 lead for his club. And so he's made a change at quarterback. Todd Hahn, 6'1", 195 out of Arizona State. Number 8 will take over on offense, and Rich Ingalls had quite a night. And I think he deserves the rest. First down and 10. Ball at the 8-yard line of the drive. They have the ball, and Hans wants it all. Going deep over the middle at the 5-yard line. Intended for George LaFrance. And Hans ends up on his backside.
This is one way you do indoctrinate a new quarterback. He ends up on his back. Let's see it here. Yes, sir. Welcome to this sport, arena football. Ouch.
I don't think there's any question that Todd Hans is getting some cleanup duty here tonight, but I talked to Timmy Markham in Detroit about 3 weeks ago, and he was telling me that Ingalls good, but he's not so sure that Hans isn't going to push him before the season's over.
A fine athlete out of Arizona State, and for you people, if they just find these guys on the street, these are fine college football players who just barely miss in the NFL. Hans trying the deep sideline penalty, and one of the fans coming out of the stands to get that football. Let's see if they let him keep it. You betcha.
Why not?
This team's losing. Let him have a football, right? Dwayne Dixon was the intended receiver.
There's the ball boy trying to get the ball back. He's not going to mess with that spectator.
That guy's bigger than he is.
Yeah, a few high fives.
Those are very nice footballs, by the way, specially designed for arena football, and they're just slightly more cylindrical, a little narrower than the NFL ball, and a beautiful ball to throw.
There's a look at the USA Wet Iron Man of the game, Steve Griffin. And yes, he hasn't caught all the touchdown passes, but remember, this is both ways, guys, and I think Griffin has been the key defensive player for Detroit, as well as helping his offense.
Done an excellent job on defense. He also had that beautiful catch and run down here. He's had a few big plays both ways, and they're very deserving of the award.
You know, the Iron Man Award is for the guy that plays both ways. With the score 38-14, 1 minute remaining. We'll be back after these messages.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Napa's Best Tool Sale has the best deals on our best tools. Like this Napa 22-piece socket set for only $19.95. And Napa's best quality hand tools are guaranteed for life. Our sale, unfortunately, is not.
What can you expect when you invest at Schwab? Ask a Schwab customer.
I'm looking for quick response and accuracy. I call Schwab and often get my market orders confirmed while I'm still on the phone. I like the fact that there's no sales pressure. For me, Schwab simply delivers good service, good value.
For a free booklet, call 800-223-1100. That's 800-223-1100.
While we were away, Walter Holman, the fullback for the Drive, gained 5 yards, and that brought up 4th down and 5. And they brought on Novo Bojovic to try a 52-yard field goal, but before they could get the snap off, the officials stopped the game, and so we'll get another chance for Bojovic to line up.
Like the 30-second clock just ran out. It was a delay of game penalty, 5-yard walk-off, or excuse me, a 3-yard walk-off. And there's Matt Stevens, not a very happy young man this evening. He just a little discussing the way the team played today.
So after the penalty, it will be a 55-yard attempt by Bojovic, and he drives it deep. It had enough distance, bounces off the screen, and the Nets fielded by Wade Lockett, and he'll down it there, and the Cobras will take over first down and 10, but they got time for one play. 2 seconds remaining in this game, and the Detroit drive.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that you have to stop, and there's no call for it. That's Matt McKnight, I think, has been in the middle of a few altercations this evening. They're going to kick him out of the ball game. And, you know, I hope they realize that these films will be watched by the league office, and there'll probably be a few fines being thrown out this evening.
I know Jim Foster and the front office review the films each week, and they've handed out some fines this year.
Well, they do, and they review the films for a couple of reasons. Very interesting pay structure in this league. The director of personnel, Bob Gates, and his people go over the films and grade every player in the league, not only looking for problems like this, but also on their performance, and they get a rating at the end of the season, which can get them bonus pay.
They've let the clock run out, so we've got a final score. The Detroit Drive 38, LA 14. Let's take this pause for a message from your local station.
It's the Grand Prix sale at Waterbed Gallery Superstores. You won't believe all the great names making purchases, like A.J. Foy. He picked up this complete finished waterbed for only $195. How about Kale Yarbovich? He got a king-size finished waterbed for just $145. His buddies, Al and Bobby Unserman, bought Kale the matching suite for only $465. And Shirley Cha-Cha Muldoon says nobody sells motionless mattresses for less. So be sure you make a pit stop at Waterbed Gallery Superstore's Grand Prix sale.
Sunday on Married with Children, Buck the dog turns the Bundy home into a cat house.
Just woof, woof, thank you, ma'am. Could you ask him for a few pointers?
Which puts them in the doghouse with the neighbors.
My dog's been soiled, Bundy. I demand satisfaction.
Me too. Good luck.
Will Al lose his shirt?
You're slapping my dog with a paternity suit?
Or will Buck lose his doghood? Sunday on Married with Children.
Again, the final score, the Detroit Drive 38, the home LA Cobras 14. And while I've got a chance, as you look at the score, I want to thank my spotter, Alfred Kojima, and my stage manager, Kathy Lundstedt. They both did great jobs. Guys, both Jim Grabowski and Hub Arkush, we're going to take a look at why we got that little altercation at the end of the game.
Well, this is on the kick. That's number 3, Novo Bojovic. Now watch number 40. Weppy Powell, a little bit of a blindside shot. Oh, decks him to the ground. Now, it didn't look that bad, but I think as Bojovic hit the ground, he got tripped up by another one of the Cobra. But he's up, and he's all right now. I know the kickers aren't used to getting hit too often.
And one of the cardinal rules is don't mess with a guy who only kicks. He's not the real player.
I was going to say, it didn't look that bad, but again, it's a kicker. So
that's right. Let's take a look at next week in arena football. Detroit will travel to New York. Chicago and Pittsburgh will play on the 24th, and that's our Mislu game here. Jim and I will be back along with Hub, I believe, one more week in Los Angeles and New England the following night. So it'll be a matchup of the undefeated Chicago Bruisers, at least going into this weekend, against number 2 Pittsburgh. And there's the USA Wet Ironman. And remember, Ironman means both ways, folks. I know there was some spectacular scoring by other players, but Griffin also played well defensively. Again, our final score, 38-14. I want to thank Hub Arkush from Pro Football Weekly, and of course my partner Jim Grabowski for a fine evening. One more look at Rich Ingold, who had a big night at quarterback for the Detroit Drive. The final score, Detroit 38, the LA Cobras 14. For Jim Grabowski and Hub Arkush, this is Mike Hafner saying good night from Los Angeles.